Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A very good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage Live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Thank you to everyone for listening across Edmonton Sports Talk audio channels at TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Apple Music. Actually, I don't know if we're on Apple Music anymore. EdmontonSportsTalk.com. It seems like we've been taken off and there's no way to add your station. We just magically showed up and now we're magically disappeared and I don't know how to fix that.
But we're on Amazon.
Are we on Amazon?
I think so.
Is the thing on Amazon?
Wow.
So I don't know where some of these things.
I always get the emails about Amazon, like, "Hey, listen to your Amazon Music," and I've never taken advantage of it. Now I'll have to.
Yeah, no, like TuneIn and iHeart, like whatever stations are on there generally feed to the Apple Music, I've learned, but we had two on there at one point, and now we have none.
I listen to you guys on Apple Music, and I just say, "Play EST," and then it'll say, "Playing EST on TuneIn."
That's what mine does.
Through Apple, yeah.
I tell.
But if you go straight to Apple Music now, like you can't find it or something. I don't know.
Weird.
So I don't know what's going on with that. And they actually don't have a way to like submit. And we never actually submitted before, so I have no idea what's going on with that one. Thank you to those watching on YouTube or listening podcast, wherever your podcast. Tom Gazzola, Iwanyk, and that voice you heard, you know it. It's the wonderful Dean Millard in the house. Woo. Happy New Year, Dean. How are we doing today?
Awesome. Great to be here as always in the phenomenal studio. I know this is my second time being here, but...
Is that it?
Yeah.
We've only had you twice.
It's so nice. And we were saying, you got Super Mario Brothers on the arcade. And I'm like, that was my first jam. That was my first video game that I ever owned. So, nostalgia day.
So I, at the old place, I've never finished it. And you can save in that game. So I wanted to go start to finish, but like not legitimately start to finish. So
not in one sitting.
No, like I'd lose and then okay, restart so I could go. And did it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Reed and Benny are doing that right now. Except Reed apparently saved it poorly with only one life.
Oh, that's going to be trouble. That's going to be. You might as well just start over. You're not finishing the game with one life,
or you're going to need to get a quick second life, quickly save that, and then you're good from there.
Do you have Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Oh,
yes, it's on there.
Gager was all into that.
Yeah,
one.
That is probably my favorite. RBI baseball is my favorite game of all time. But Mike Tyson, geez, I might just hang out here all day at the Hangout. But Mike Tyson's Punch Out, like for us growing up, Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet. Mm-hmm. Like this guy knocked guys out in seconds. That game was so good, but it frustrated me because I could never finish it. I could never get past the guy before Mike Tyson.
But and it's super hard. And when you got to Mike Tyson, like the game, the so AI, fast. The way it was designed is supposed to crush you, and you have to know the combinations. I was watching a video yesterday on NBA Jam, and then Madden NFL 95 or Madden 95 on Super Nintendo, and the developers of NBA Jam, whenever the Bulls played the Pistons, Scottie Pippen's stats went down.
No way.
Like his overall, his player rankings and ratings. And that's because the developer of NBA Jam hated the Bulls, and he was a Pistons fan.
And the Bulls ended the Pistons dynasty.
Yeah, exactly. So he deliberately made Scottie Pippen's, and he programmed it into the game.
Wild.
That whenever you were the Pistons and you played the Bulls, Scottie Pippen's attributes went way down.
So you would lose.
You would lose. And then Madden 95, which EA Sports obviously made, but they hired a different production company. Apparently, there's all kinds of game glitches in there, and when you get to the NFC and AFC championship games and then the Super Bowl in those games, the computer can stack the game against you.
Wow.
Yeah. They'll take away timeouts. And
we were just kids trying, they're just robbing kids of championships.
Yeah, exactly.
Rings, everything,
Yeah, so there's that.
You don't realize it as a kid, but like I played Punch Out, whatever. It's just all it is combinations, right? Like as a kid, you're like, oh my God, this is so hard. Then you get older and you're like, oh, it's just right, left, right, BB, whatever it is, right? And
your timing and
stuff. But then when you get to a certain level, it goes all haywire and it changes and like it becomes so much faster. So
that's how they would get you, because you got so good at the game, and then it's like, oh, everything you've learned to train yourself to do in this game out the window or not as effective.
Yeah. Tecmo Bowl was the other one with Bo Jackson, where he just couldn't be stopped, right?
These guys,
we don't play with that version.
They're not.
And that version's, I don't know if that version's on our computer, on our machine, that one.
What do you mean of that version?
There's many Tecmo games.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we started playing a league, Tecmo Super Bowl. That was the one we did on SNES.
Oh,
so it
Super
didn't have
Nintendo.
Bo,
Okay.
which also was great because then you don't have the cheat code of Bojack.
Yeah, like it was ridiculous. It was like the corner 3 in Double Dribble that Family Guy made fun of so well.
That was funny.
Like it was the corner 3 and the Tecmo
corner
3.
3.
And you're like, we would have a rule you couldn't be Oakland when we play Tecmo. It's like you're not allowed to be Oakland. You're just giving the guy a cheat code.
Yeah,
right?
they did that in Family Guy too, where they just ran around the whole field.
Yeah. Peter ran out the whole
killed
quarter.
the whole quarter.
The whole quarter and then ran touchdown. And then corner 3. And then Cleveland is like, why don't you cover that guy? That's so good. Quagmire was getting so bad.
Speaking of games, I saw this morning. There's some reports that Grand Theft Auto 6 might be delayed even more.
No.
Some insiders say Rockstar hasn't finished key content yet, raising the possibility of another delay.
People are losing their minds over that.
I'm going to get this game.
It is said that Rockstar has just passed into the bugs fixing stage as of January. The game might be delayed to 27.
Ouch.
That's
a year.
More. I think it was supposed to come out in 25 initially.
But even since it was supposed to come out, wow.
It better be expletive good. That if it's that much of a
It's
delay.
not going to live up to that hype now.
It
Because
can't.
of these delays, it's
Somebody's
not
going to have, the first thing that's going to go wrong, somebody's going to be like, I waited this long and there's this sort of glitch. And
Yeah.
You can't get
But
away
you can
from
clean those up.
glitchless. Yeah, you can as you go.
Yeah.
I you know what? I'm a Rockstar fan. Like I'm not
Red Dead?
Red Dead is
So good.
the best game in the world. Like it is. I so seriously want them to make another one. I want them to do a prequel and go back to when he was in the gang in the very beginning, right? And see what happens. Well, I guess they did that with the second one, but there's even more that they could do. Anyway,
what was his name? James Marsden?
John Marsden.
Marsden. And then you play as his son.
Yeah, and then you play as his son, and you play as Arthur in Red Dead 2, and then things happen.
Right.
There's a gravestone. This is weird. In Nordegg, Alberta, the name John Marsden on it. I'm like, don't ask me why we were in a cemetery. My wife loves touring cemeteries. She's a DNA.
Oh, really?
Oh, she. Every time we drive past the cemetery, she's like a dog looking out, like, oh, I want to go to that cemetery.
Weird.
So we do cemetery tours, and there's a grave, John Marsden. I'm like, that is so cool. But that game it's the best. It's
amazing.
It's basically Grand Theft Auto on a horse, right? Like it's
that's true.
It's so good. So I have faith in Rockstar. I'll be like, okay, if it's going to be better, then do it rather than rush it out. It sucks that it's delayed.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you rather have? A delayed game that's good or a rush game that keeps having to glitch and update? So, and again, I'm like Rockstar can almost do anything and I'll still have faith in them just because of what they've done. Like even from the very first Red Dead, it just keeps getting better and better.
I have not played GTA since San Andreas. Like I haven't bought one and played it since San Andreas. My brothers loved 4. My brother Mike loves 5. I still see people playing 5. And on TikTok, when I go on there, the first thing that comes up is like guys trolling other players online. And I'm like, okay, let's go 6 because I'm ready to jump back in.
The one thing I can't do is online games. Like
what?
I can't play online. Like I play Red Dead online and I die in 5 seconds. Because some guy out there is just being a jerk and just killing people online.
That's the fun.
No,
You can go
how
and pull
fun is it
people
for
over.
me
You can play
to-
cards.
How fun is it for me to be like, hey, I'm getting on my horse dead. Oh, now I'm feeding my horse dead. Now I'm going to go dead. It's like, this doesn't even give me a chance to play. So I stopped playing online. I literally just play by myself. Sometimes I put the cinematic scene.
Yeah.
And it's like my own Western. I'm just like watching my own Western as I'm working away and I have this horse riding in the background. I just think like the online is great if you're playing with a buddy or something, but these online bullies that just kill you instantly, how fun is that?
They're like 12 years
How fun is
old,
that
Dean.
for that guy who's a 12-year-old bully?
Well, they're probably making TikTok videos that I watched.
I've seen the
Millard
TikTok
got
ones. They're
killed
funny.
again.
They are funny.
The TikTok ones I've seen for GTA 5 is like
it's
somebody's
crazy.
like dressing up, like he acts as a pigeon.
Yes.
And then he throws things and the people come out and they don't know what's doing and then the pigeon like takes a grenade and shoots them and they explode and it's like, I'm like, for the TikTok video, I'm like, that's actually kind of funny.
Pretty clever.
I would just like to play online for more than 5 seconds before I die.
That's fair.
I got into the sports online. I would play
that's
Madden
what I would
online,
do.
which
I would
was
play.
fun.
And now I can't even play any games because I don't have what's the latest PS5?
Yeah.
I don't have a PS5. I haven't been able to buy the last 2 Major League Baseball games
Oh, they
where the
stopped?
Dodgers won the World Series because it doesn't play on my system.
Which system do you
And
have?
I'm a 50-year-old man that is having a hard time buying a PS5.
Gotta get a
this?
PS5.
What's the system that you have?
PS4.
They're-
Four. So they stopped making the fluid on the 4.
They're phasing it out.
They do
And
that all the
always
time.
used it. Yeah.
They're not
Which
as
is-
bad as Apple, which makes you buy a new accessory every time you buy something.
Well,
but
yeah.
it is, after a while, the games max out and you can't download them on that anymore.
They announced PS4 is they're gonna
I
phase it out,
just got GTA 5 literally a couple of weeks ago at WeBook In.
What?
It was there for $6. I'm like, I've never
Wow.
played this. I'm gonna buy it.
That's a good deal.
And I haven't played it yet. I got to put it in, and it's for a PS3. So I was like, sweet. That was
Wow.
like $6 or something at WeBook In.
That's a
Wow.
good deal.
They have a couple of games still at WeBook In. Go
Yeah,
check them
that's
out.
the only thing is like I have my godson wants to play online games, and I'm like, yeah, I can't play any of the games that you want to play because I have the old system, and I don't want to make him play. So maybe my wife will be like, hey, I want Dean to be able to play, hint if she's watching, with my godson.
Good morning,
I'm going
Trish.
to buy a new
When's your
PS5.
birthday?
November.
Oh, it's a long way.
My-
So
And your Christmas just passed.
Yeah.
too, so that's a tough one too.
My family tricked me for my birthday
oh,
because I was ready to go and buy a PS5 finally. I knew I needed one.
Yeah.
And I was like looking at Costco because I love Costco. I go to Costco.
well, why not?
Yeah. And so I'm texting my brother who's still really into games. My brother lives in Calgary and he's like, no, just wait. There's going to be a big sale at EB Games. It's going to be even more off than what you're getting at Costco. I was like, are you sure? Because I'm just going to go get this weekend. Like, and he's like, no, I swear, man. Like, it'll be a way better deal, better package. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, last week of September. And my birthday is the last week of September. He goes, starts September 27th. I was like, I trust him because he's like really involved in that. And then it was my birthday and my whole family was just like, here you go. Here's your PS5, you dork.
So how long were you waiting? Like how long was it till you wanted to buy it until your birthday?
Well,
Like months?
like a month, a couple months. I was like, they're like, get a PS5. And
That's
I'm like,
hard,
okay, I'm going to go
man.
do it. And then, but it was September.
Good willpower.
Then my birthday was in September. And then that's when they're like, Tom has been talking about this PS5 forever. I just didn't go out and get one. And they're like, let's just get him one. And they that was probably
That's
their
a good-
best coup that they had against me.
That's
Very
good
well done.
willpower on you though. Like
I didn't have the willpower. I was like, I'm going to go get this
But
thing.
you didn't buy
But
it.
then you didn't buy it.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
impressive.
Like the fact that you were like,
you were gonna buy it,
and you
Yeah.
just was like, hey, I will wait the month.
then
to
I'm
get
gonna
this
wait
deal.
a month or two. I couldn't do that. I'm like
Well-
impulse buyer extraordinaire.
I am like that at
I
times
bought this
too.
on the way over here.
I'm like that too, Dino. But my brother was so convincing, and he knows which buttons to push. With me.
Totally.
He's
He
like,
totally.
he's like, what are you
He's
doing?
the MVP of
Yeah.
that surprise.
Yeah, he's a ninja.
He's the 97.
Yeah, he's the weird middle brother that knows his oldest brother all too well.
It's funny, middle brothers, eh? Like sometimes they are just the perfect brother, and sometimes they are the opposite of the perfect brother. Like I've got a middle brother who's the opposite of a perfect brother. You got a middle brother who's a great brother.
Oh, he's great, but
Like-
he's different than my youngest brother
How
and
does
I.
to pull that off? That's impressive.
Yeah, I was quite impressed.
Are you
actually.
youngest?
No, I'm the oldest.
You're oldest. I'm the
Yeah.
youngest. So.
Yeah. But my youngest brother and I like very eye to eye and similar in a lot of
interesting.
ways. We love our middle brother. It's just he's always kind of like
Little bit,
off to the
yeah.
side doing his own thing. And
Interesting.
we're just like, what's Mike up to? I don't know. I haven't talked to him in 3 weeks. He's fine.
He's just chilling.
He's fine.
just pulling off surprises.
Yeah. Yesterday he sent me a reaction to the video I shot with Reed. I was like, oh, he's doing good. That's all I need.
Right
It's
on.
weird how you don't know anyone else's experiences. I have one brother.
Just the
So
single,
I'm
eh?
used to just there's two, but both of the same.
Oh, you have one brother.
One, and that's
right.
it. It's just him and I. And then it's like it's weird how everyone has their own.
Are you
experiences.
oldest or youngest?
I'm the youngest.
So yeah,
I was the baby in the family too.
Yeah,
like
me
across
too.
with
I am-
cousins and everything. I was the baby.
Lucky.
pretty much me too. All of our first cousins, I was pretty much the youngest. So I got
You
to
guys
do
had it good.
nothing. No. What are you talking about?
You guys had it real good.
Oh, I
My
had it
brothers are
great.
5 years older than me. I got to do not. I got there's a reason I had an imaginary friend because nobody else would hang out with me when I was a kid. Like my brothers are like, get out of here, beat it.
Until they can use you as a goalie in
That's
street
it. Until
hockey.
they tied me into the net and
Yeah.
just ripped pucks at me.
Yeah. Yeah. We did
Or
that.
the hard hockey balls.
Yep. Orange ball.
Worst ever in the winter, right? Like, was there any ever more pain than getting that like right on your thigh
No.
or something like that?
It
or
was awful.
awful pain.
That's why we always play with tennis balls.
Yeah, we started doing that later too, but they, those harden too sometimes.
Oh,
but
you don't want them to get wet.
Not as bad as the plastic orange ball.
They developed.
We use that in ball hockey.
Yeah, the ball hockey, street hockey ball. I remember as we were getting a little bit older and we started to fade away from playing street hockey, they made a winter version of a street hockey ball that was a little bit softer. So when it got cold, it got to that right feeling and stiffness on
It wasn't a weapon?
No, it was not. So it was actually really good. And I bought a sleeve of them. We were real ball hockey dorks back in the day. And then you get like real equipment and stuff.
Yeah, our street was the street hockey. Like we had all the sticks, we had all the nets. After school, people would come to in front of our street, be like, "Hey, I need this stick, I need that stick." We had it was literally our street right in front of my house was our hub. So it was great.
Getting the second net, I remember, was a huge deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have to use boots.
Right. Or
And
you
you'd
didn't have to
have to
borrow
chase the
someone's
ball.
net. Yeah, exactly.
And then headlights every time a car came down. Did you guys use that word? We were like headlights.
We were
Headlights.
lucky. We had played in the back alley, and then we moved to a new place and it had a bus turnaround.
Oh man.
Before they developed it, and we would play in the bus turnaround. So we had to chase the ball into the farmer's field. But
No, I grew up
usually
in a
find
cul-de-sac.
So you had lots of space.
And there was like 2 cul-de-sacs. So my brother and I lived in the one cul-de-sac, and everyone else that played hockey was in the other one. So it would rotate.
Home and away.
Yeah, like where you would be playing and stuff. But we had enough nets, and everyone had their own stuff. But yeah, like so cars weren't too bad. Because it'd just be you move on the side of the nets, we're generally closer to the edge.
Yeah,
maybe
we
the one
always
car
had
you'd have
cars.
to, or cars could drive around, but you just have to watch out. I'm like, oh, okay, car. And then, but yeah, we lived in cul-de-sac was great.
See, it's good if you're playing. We had the nets, so then we would play forever.
Yeah.
We'd go every once in a while go over to our friend's house. He would get mad and take his net.
see?
Yeah, and be like, wait, you're not allowed to do that. No, it's my net. I don't like the rules. I don't like the goal. I don't like the celebration. Whatever. This guy had
Sounds
whatever
like
it
a
was.
baby to me.
He was. He's a big crybaby, and he would take his net and be like, "That's the end of the game."
That's
So
BS.
then games stopped happening at that guy's house because you don't get to just take your net and go home.
Yeah.
I know we say that a lot, but
That's the ultimate cop out.
Yeah, I miss street hockey. Street hockey was fun.
you know what? And there was kids in our area younger than us that started up a league. Like they would play like regular games.
love that.
And I'm like, that is the coolest thing because not everybody could afford to play ice hockey or not everybody was as good a skater. But like I had kids that I grew up with that couldn't skate a lick, but you put them on boots in street hockey and they were a menace. They were so good because
Brian Bradshaw. That was
your
my
guy?
great buddy, Brian Bradshaw. Yeah. Tremendous soccer player, but
yeah, like
couldn't
we had
skate.
a guy, Terry Kuchlam, when we'd play roller hockey in the summer, he would run.
Really?
He couldn't
roller
skate.
Yeah.
So he just ran in and we're playing roller and he was like tireless, this guy. So like those are the guys that you'd be, I want this guy on my team. in
Yes.
Street hockey.
Yes.
Like, this guy can't, he's an ankle ankle biter skater in hockey, but in street hockey, this guy's a menace because he never quits.
There were those guys. Well, now a lot of guys play ball hockey, and listen, it's great cardio and all that. I know it gets very competitive, and there's skill. Whatever.
I got kicked out of a ball hockey game this summer.
That's okay, Dean.
Did
That's,
you?
That's a
This
badge
summer?
of honor.
This past summer.
I
yeah.
wouldn't be too worried about that. Anyway, what I was gonna say is, like, if people are like, well, ball hockey is just like the better version of street. No, street hockey. There's a magic to street hockey where any kid on the block can come and play. Just grab your
right.
stick. Let's go.
The ball could just bounce anywhere. 'cause
Exactly.
The road's not this flat.
Yeah, that's right. Like there's weird parts of the
Everything.
like on the side of the rink.
There's a
is
rut.
like don't let the ball go to that person's house because they're mean, right? Like
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
We're
step
not
on their
getting the ball
guard.
back.
Yeah, stuff like that.
The Beast in Sandlot.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. There's just maybe that's part of why I always laugh at ball
It
hockey.
is totally different. Like I went and played ball hockey this summer, and I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be like street hockey. No, there's no glide in like there is in regular hockey. Even in street hockey, you're sliding a little bit. You know,
you can just walk.
You know, whatever. Ball hockey is flat out running
That's
the
cardio.
whole time. And the reason I got kicked out is this guy the referee got into it, got a penalty. And he's like, do you want another one? I'm like, okay, another one. I'm like, what is this, the Breakfast Club? And he had no idea. I'm like, sure. Remember when the janitor, he's like, do you want another week? Yeah. Another one? Another one. I've got you for the rest of your natural life. So this guy, referee's like, thought I was lipping him off about the Breakfast Club. And I'm like, no, what is the, like, I'm quoting the movie. And I got kicked out. I'm like,
okay,
you need to know your movie knowledge a little bit more. Well, if you're going to do chirps. But
they take
ball
things
hockey
so seriously.
It is serious. I mean, there's guys out there that you're probably getting them on skates and they're probably not moving around.
Yeah.
But the hands and set plays with some of these guys. And then there's the odd guys that play junior that just can't get enough hockey. So they're like, we played against a couple of guys that played for the Dauphin Kings of the MJHL. I'm why are you playing ball hockey? You play enough hockey during the year. You probably don't need to be doing this, but it's fun. The cardio was amazing. Like, I would play ball hockey again. I think it's a neat sport, especially for a guy who plays goal, to be able to get to play out. I can't go out and play shinny at Silent Ice with Belsey and those guys.
That's a good skate.
That's a crazy. Have you done that skate yet?
Yeah,
it's a crazy good skate, and I can't do that as a forward, but I can run around in ball hockey and things like that. So
Benny's a ball hockey champ.
No way.
Good young Benny.
Good job, Ben. Way to go. I hope your
for Canada
gift certificate to Boston Pizza is tremendous.
Just locally.
Nice.
He's probably asleep right now, so I can't ask what he is.
Dave the Welder texting in 780-218-9999. We used to play street hockey on my friends' farms on gravel. If you were on a breakaway, you could quickly shoot rock/gravel at the goalie and then shoot the ball. That's from Dave the Welder.
I'd be pissed.
Wow.
That's the
next
goal.
level.
I'd be pissed.
You take a rock and then
That's
the puck beats you.
Yikes.
I would never play goal again after
Gravel.
I loved playing goal in street hockey.
Brad Texan says, you youngsters, our car word was trick track. I have no idea why it was trick track, but it never changed. This was the 70s in Southern Sask. Interesting.
Trick track.
Instead of saying car
Or headlights.
say trick track.
Interesting.
They don't do that play-on tournament anymore. I don't think.
Oh, yeah. I
thought
remember
was
that
kinda-
one. Yeah.
There used to always be different versions of that. I don't think there is a good street hockey tournament anymore.
There was Breakout, NHL Breakout.
Breakout was the one, yeah.
I played in that one. I actually have a good story about that. And then they had Play On, which I think was in conjunction with Hockey Night in Canada. I think the Oilers got involved.
I think they were trying to bring that back last year.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it did happen.
I think I played in it one year.
We played with it as 1260 one year. I know that.
It was fun, but it got too competitive, and we were really hungover too. We were like,
That's why you
Well,
play
that's the
lower
thing.
level.
19.
Those games do get like when you go into those tournaments events.
Yeah.
Like even ice hockey, some of those events you go into, like the Alzheimer's and things like that. At some point, there's going to be at least one or two guys that are going to take it to the level that it.
2 years ago,
He's pointing at
no,
you.
Maddie knows
2
the
years
story.
ago at Hockey Helps the Homeless, Dusty and Tommy couldn't play because they had to do oil stream, but their team got into it. Well, the other team got into it with our team.
Yeah.
And it was like this whole thing after about, and like the other team that was all dicks. Because it was even like, hey, have you played this team? And like, yeah, they're dicks.
Yeah.
Like they're one of the mums was like an organizer.
Yes.
And apparently later on, like she went into the locker room and just laid into the team. Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
They were
Against the team that was playing. Yeah.
they're being asked, but like this happened just like 2 years ago with us.
Yes, we're on location.
That always happens.
Matt Cassian comes up to Dusty and I while we're on the air, and he's like, your team almost got into a huge brawl. We had Laddie Schmid and Brian Scrudland on our team. Or was it Bucky and Laddie Schmid? Anyway, they're like, Laddie was ready to fight. I think it was Brian Scrudland. He was like trying to keep the peace. And we had a buddy of mine, Merrick Duggan, who's a fighter in Junior B, real estate agent who's a sponsor on Hello Hockey. He was an MMA fighter after he finished playing junior hockey. And he almost killed that kid that started all the crap.
Jeez.
Because it was one or two guys. And Dougie almost went in there and took the guy's head off. And I went and talked to Dougie. I'm like, what's going on? Everyone's saying you went berserk. He's like, I got the green light from Laddie to go after the guy, so I will if he does one more thing.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's always that team.
I've seen Laddie on the bench as a coach, and he's not the most calm individual.
No.
He gets worked up and competitive guy, right? And I see Bucky every day walking around Silent Ice Center, and he looks like he could still play. Like the guy is in ridiculously good shape. There's not a chance I would go into the corner with that guy because you're not coming out with the puck.
There was another street hockey. I forgot what tournament this was for. It was for cancer, but it was at Northlands area, And it was the Bear. Like we put in a team as 1260, and there was a Bear team, and they were assholes.
The Bear was,
and it wasn't the like. I think Paul Brown was the only member from the Bear. There was just a bunch of listeners that got there, and
funny.
they were problems. And it was like they got into it. Like they were wanting to fight Mageau out of there. Like it's Mageau.
You guys, we all worked together.
Will ultimately
The Bear
it
was the
wasn't. It
problem.
was just Paul Brown. Like there was just listeners. There was no one else.
Wasn't the
weird.
Bear
There was
labeled as a problem child? Like, wasn't that like one of their marketing or
there.
something?
You know better
Will
than
Fraser
me.
dadded one of them and went, "Hey, you, enough!" And then the guy just like stopped and walked away. But like it was, and they got kicked out. I don't think they played their last game. I don't think they got kicked out.
That's not good.
There's always, you're right. There's always that team.
NHL breakout, like that was the big thing of the summer, and I would organize a team every year.
Yeah.
I think I got it like 3 or 4 years. I did it because I just loved it. And
When you were with the Oilers?
no,
Oh,
this
is
was when I
before.
was like
2000.
10, 11,
Oh,
12.
okay.
Yeah. And the last year it happened or we played in it, I put together like a pretty good team. We had Mark Fistrick on the team, a lot of guys that ended up playing a lot of junior hockey, like a lot of good players. And we got to the final. I scored like pretty early to give us a 1-0 lead. Then a guy like fell down in front of me and I got kicked out of the game. And I was like, what are you talking about? The guy tripped. I didn't even touch him. And like our team was freaking out. I'm like, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We have so many good players that we're just going to win this game. And my dad came over. He's like, why don't you take your brother's helmet and gloves?
No way.
Swap with him and go in. I'm like, no, that's not right. That's not right. I should have because my goal was the only one we got. We lost like 2 or 3-1.
Wow.
Yeah. Mark couldn't get anything going. It was such a hard game.
That would have been the old switcheroo.
Yeah.
Like Billy, who was the manager for the Mets? Valentine.
Bobby Valentine.
Bobby Valentine when he came back in
the
with
mustache.
the nose and glasses and
That's right.
mustache.
Yeah.
So good.
Best part about Breakout, because my brother would put in teams and I'd go, is you get like for like whatever $10 or something, you get the water bottle and then you get unlimited Gatorade or Powerade or whatever it would be, and you
There
just
you
constantly
go.
or All Break. I think one year was All Break, and you just
All-Star.
all sport,
All sport.
all
That's
sport.
right, yeah.
And you just constantly are like filling that and chugging it all weekend and filling more of it, and that was wonderful.
And they had big inflatable boards.
And that was the summertime, right?
It was
They did
summertime.
this?
It was really neat. I mean,
I think
Breakout
that's
was
a good
at
idea.
more often was at Northlands.
Yeah.
Like actually in the Coliseum parking lot.
yeah, and they had one like inline rink inside on the ice surface.
No way.
Yeah.
And you could
And
skate
then,
on.
And then Play On has done Churchill, and then they moved to West Ed.
Well, wouldn't you be able to do something at Rogers now that they're redeveloping that whole like the Fan Fest area? Like you think you'd be able to have some sort of setup in the summertime to
Yeah.
do something down there. Although downtown is tricky. It's good, you know, if you're down walking. Parking is a bit tricky to get people. West Ed might be a little bit better just because there's way more space.
Well, and
right?
they would always use that
Maybe the
overflow
Silent Ice
parking lot.
Yes.
The north part of West
Yeah,
Ed across
that's
the street.
right,
There's
yeah.
that overflow. That's what they would use, and it's a big parking lot.
Yeah.
That they only ever need that at Christmas time.
I
Generally.
want to put a outdoor rink. I've always said I'd like to have an outdoor rink at Silent Ice Center, and then have a couple of games. Whatever. We actually have an outdoor event in Lloydminster on January 24th where they're playing 3 games in the Female Super League exhibition games. But I think outdoor games are neat. It all reminds us of it. I'm not talking about an indoor game like what we saw with the Florida
Hey,
Panthers.
roof is open.
Oh, the roof was open. Okay,
Yeah, it was.
Like, it's just so silly. Like somebody
There's
said,
pictures of them opening it, and like the roof was open in the end. But
somebody said the other day, if you're gonna do it like that, then why don't you play like the Leafs and the Canadians at Skydome,
Yeah.
or Rogers, with the roof open in the wintertime or something like that.
Yeah.
But outdoor games are neat, man. And if you could do a tournament in the summertime with the charitable component, I think people would flock to that.
Jasper
Especially if
does-
there hasn't been one in a while.
I think Jasper does a pond hockey tournament every January,
Yeah,
February,
yeah.
or something, a 3-on-3 or something.
Cattail Crossing would have one too on their.
Would they?
Little
I
lake
think my brother
area.
On the
played on
pond
that
there?
once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think those things are neat. And I know that those guys are doing the world's longest game again,
they
which
are.
is the
Oh, wow.
the biggest outdoor game. And obviously Dusty played in that for a long time. So like, I think it's neat. I remember going out to those games in like the middle of the night and all you hear is the puck and
great
the
sound.
stick and the music playing over. It is really like people talk about like white noise when you're falling asleep. Give me guys slapping a puck around on an outdoor rink, that would relax me. Like that's
It would?
Yeah, just
because I'd be thinking, I'm like, what's happening in the game? And you try to track it in your mind.
You know, like just the kind of the back and forth, not like fast paced. Just
that was
guys,
not fast paced, especially if you went later on.
Yeah,
fast pace would go away pretty quick.
I think it's just that sound is cool. It just reminds me of like, you know, you're doing up your skates and that's what you're hearing. You're gonna go out there and join that game. That's what I always think about. Like when you come out of the outdoor rink and you make your way to the hockey rink, you're hearing those sounds. Like as soon as I hear those sounds, it takes me back to being a kid.
I would guess being a goalie would be the hardest in that game.
Yeah,
because you're not moving.
less.
Yeah. So when it gets cold, you have to stand there.
Yeah. Your feet, your toes and your fingers would be the worst. Like you can do, you know, up, downs and different things like that and move around, but it's your toes and your fingers that are the worst. At least as a skater, you know, you're moving your toes and your feet all the time when you're moving. As a goalie, you have to, you know, make that up.
Yeah.
So I think I've refereed out there and those guys and girls that do that are phenomenal. As Dusty would be able to tell you, the war of attrition on your body is phenomenal. So kudos to those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't believe that's coming up. Again, hopefully it's not terrible weather.
Yeah,
like
you got to have a sweet spot.
Yeah, like you want to like a -7 to -10.
Yeah,
is that probably what they'd want? So the ice doesn't have any issues.
Oh yeah.
Well, because that's the thing. The cold is they'll, you know, they don't want it -40, but colder is better because the warmer it is, the harder it is to skate. And as you talk about, as that thing goes on, the less skating you do and the more gliding you do because you're conserving energy. You're playing for hours on end. So colder is actually better for them to a point because then at least the ice is fast and hard and you let the ice work for you, right?
I reffed one shift. It was neat.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's fun. It's, you know, especially when you get out there and it's kind of quiet and you can talk to the players a little bit and, you know, find out their stories and stuff. There's, you know, million stories out there. So it's it's a pretty inspiring event, even if you just go out and check it out once to be able to say like, hey, these guys are doing something pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's the thing. And especially if you go like, I bet they appreciate it quite a bit if you go at night or something.
Yeah, we
like where it's a little quiet because like during the day it's going to be pretty busy. They're going to have a lot of people, but when it's like 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock, even if you can go at like 2 or 3 in the morning, I'm sure.
That's what I refereed at 2 in the morning one time, and it was so cool. And it just it's a neat atmosphere out there too. Yeah. Right? They've got a lot of stuff going on. So
Feb 5 through Feb 16.
Yeah,
that's when it's happening this year.
There's plenty of libations. Available
exactly. I think it ends on the holiday Monday. I think usually Family that's Day? When they.
I think that's that. Yeah, 16th. The holiday.
It's a good event, and you know, like it takes everybody back to, you know, that's how I learned how to skate was on outside. I know kids maybe don't do that as much anymore.
Yeah.
But they're still, I think outdoor rinks are making a bit of a comeback. Like I'm starting to see kids at outdoor rinks. When I first moved to Edmonton in like 2003, we had an outdoor rink down the street from us, and I would be the only one there a ton of times. And now I drive by that same rink in St. Albert, and I'm like, there's actually kids out there. So I don't know if it's making a comeback or
Are community leagues still a thing? Like, are they still keeping up the rinks? Or does it depend on the community league or something?
Yeah, it depends. Like, you know, you go to some of we used to live in Rutherford, and a couple of communities over, they have a Zamboni. So it depends on what your community is.
Yeah.
And you pay into those community fees, and that's how they fund that stuff. But for the most part, I mean, you know, we rented a community center for my dad's 80th birthday, and it was just one of the counselors that was running it. This was, you know, in Manitoba, but I'm pretty sure there is community by community, and some you pay into it, and others it's just.
Yeah, there used to be cheap fees. I remember that. I've always looked at the downtown
like
community league. Ours is
to,
the downtown community rink. Is our rink.
Yeah. We had one where it's $15.
So we get like a free skate for an hour, I think, on Sundays or something.
Really?
If you're a member.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just like $5 or something. But if you're the downtown community, our community league is downtown. So we get the community rink for, I think, like an hour on a Sunday.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it was like $15, the one rink we went to, and that
for the year or whatever.
For the year, yeah. Like, and you could go do your skates up inside.
Put
it on your skate. Yeah.
Different colors every year, so they can't duplicate it.
We started playing hockey as a community center in Manitoba We were the East End Community Center, and you went by region. And then it's so funny because everybody thinks academy hockey is ruining hockey right now.
Oh no, there was plenty of problems before academy hockey. Don't worry.
Youth hockey took over from community hockey. So like community hockey was here, and then all of a sudden Brandon youth hockey and Winnipeg youth hockey and Edmonton minor hockey, they decided, oh, we're going to do this now. And so now we're changing the game. And now somebody else is changing the game on them and they don't like it. But the game of hockey has always evolved, where it started at the community centers and then it moved into the cities and things like that, at least where I was from. So the game is constantly changing. I don't know what it's going to be like in 10, 15 years, but it started out as we played for the East End and that's where we practiced and all of our games were outdoors.
Yeah.
Now I'm dating myself.
Imagine it would be something similar to that. Although the club teams have been around here for a long time. Like
yeah, like our club team started in the early 80s. So I'm going to guess it would be something similar, maybe even earlier out here.
Well, here I remember when I was with MLAC, it was already like, I think they were having their 75th anniversary already. Like Johnny Busick was MLAC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that's much different out in Alberta then.
Yeah, I think it, CAC is old as well. I don't know how, I'm assuming Southside Athletic Club's pretty old.
But I'm going to guess they started on outdoor rinks. Like I'm going to guess there weren't
I don't think it was till like
rinks.
60s or 70s that indoor rinks became prevalent.
Yeah, like
here.
the CAC has their own rink now, but I don't think they would have had that in like 100 years ago. Or whatever.
No, I doubt it. I mean, from what I understand, was it the Centennial when they started covering outdoor rinks?
Right.
Putting shells over them, like Tipton, Oliver.
If you have an outdoor
Glengarry.
rink that has a roof over it, like you're rich. I think you live in a rich community. If you have if you have a roof over your outdoor rink, you live in a rich area. That's how Dean Millard from Brandon, Manitoba would think of that. Be like, you have a roof over. I mean, you don't have to go out and shovel the snow all the time.
No.
How rich are you?
Yeah, yeah, I get it. It blows
That's a
my mind.
I don't think you
man.
still see that a lot. Like, there's not a lot of those, are there?
What?
No, I only know one of
over
them
an
in
outdoor
Calgary.
rink? Is there one here?
Not that I know of. Like that's just like a
roof over top
but
of
it's
the
outdoor.
Yeah.
There's one in Calgary that my buddy goes to, and whenever we're in Calgary, we go skate at it. And I'm like, this is incredible.
That's neat. That's kind of cool, actually. But no, they built the shells. Where else? Westwood. Oh, terrible. Where else? Michael Cameron.
These are all outdoor rinks?
These I think were outdoor rinks, and then they covered them to make them indoor rinks. And then, I mean, ice is so hard to
Semi-indoor,
get.
right?
Well, now they're full on indoor facilities, but back in the day, they built these shells.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was no indoor. There's not an
ice plant.
There's not enough indoor rinks.
That's where a silent ice can come in.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, but in the 80s and that's the thing. There was just they weren't building facilities, and if they did, they were being the top teams were getting the first thing, and that's probably I know out in BC, there's the rinks are old, and they're not building new ones because the number of players listed by Hockey Canada, mind you, not counting all the outside leagues, shows the numbers are dropping,
right?
And this debate just raged on social media this week when Canada lost about what is the problem. Are we going to have another summit? But the numbers of Hockey Canada players are dropping, but what they're not counting is all the number of players that are playing outside of Hockey Canada. And I'm not saying that if you include those, the numbers are going to come way up or that there is a decline in hockey numbers. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying the numbers that they're using aren't all of the numbers out there. There's more leagues than just the JPHL out there that are independent. We had teams come out from Ontario this year and things like that. So I just think that you have to look at the whole picture. We need more rinks. Like I think even in Edmonton we could use more arenas.
Yes,
that's why Rexall Place, when it was closing, the conversation was, can you turn it into like 4 sheets of ice or something in there? And it just was going to cost way too much for that one, and it wasn't feasible there. But it was because we need ice.
Right,
we're lacking ice. So how could we go about finding more ice?
Yeah, we're adding a sheet to Silent Ice Center. There's going to be a third sheet going on there, and there's more construction. But it's just because it's a need, like it's a necessity, and that not every rink built by the city has to look like Silent Ice Center. I mean, it's a palace, and just like the Heavy Metal Place, out in Spruce Grove, but you can build affordable rinks. Look at the and they don't all have to be like what's the place, Twilliger Center, where you guys used to play the homeless and stuff like that.
Juice Twilliger Center.
It's a massive facility.
Fantastic.
They don't all have to be that big
that's
either.
That's a full rec center.
That's right.
There's
Yeah.
a swimming
The
pool
meadows
and
is
that.
like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
You could just build a twin arena
You could
place.
just build a couple of sheets of ice.
Yeah.
Or 4 sheets of ice or whatever it is. You don't have to have. And I know people are going to be like, why does hockey get everything? Well, unfortunately, hockey is still a big driver of this city when it comes to youth sports.
Yeah.
Well, but what else is missing?
We have the football.
Well, like there's a lot of soccer
football
fields.
and
Like we have
soccer
so many
fields.
soccer
Yeah.
and football fields. Like anything
Yeah.
could be. Those are easy to have and they're easy to
Baseball
find.
diamonds.
We've got baseball diamonds that I like. It's just hockey costs a lot.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. Ice
you
plants
need
are
an
not
ice plant.
cheap,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
True. I remember when like Castle Downs was newish, Collingwood Arena was newish, and then I remember vividly playing at Clairview when it just opened. Now they've used those 2 rinks and built a facility around it.
But Castle Downs, is it just still the 2 rinks?
They have a YMCA
Okay.
attached to it. But
But it just started as just 2 sheets, wasn't it?
yeah. I think so. I think it's just 2 sheets still, but they added the YMCA.
Yeah.
Mill Woods, when it became a new facility, I think it was a little bit before I was born or right when I was born. So
And
that
in St.
happened in the
Albert, we
80s.
have the service place where it's the same thing. You've got
Troy Murray,
Mark Messier, and the performance. There's actually 3 sheets of ice,
Yes.
which is silly to me why we don't have a junior team in that nice of a arena.
Remember
been
when they
so
tried
long.
St. Albert Steel?
Yeah, they came from Fort Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
St. Albert moved to Spruce Grove, which is now the Saints.
Yeah.
Fort Saskatchewan moved to St. Albert and it never finished. But they have, or that never worked. But they do have a big facility, soccer, lacrosse, everything there.
It's nice.
It is very nice. But you just need more sheets of ice. And like, I can't imagine, like we can build mansions with containers, but we can't figure out how to just put up 2 sheets of ice in it doesn't have to be a palace. We just need places for kids to get dressed, parents to have a coffee, and kids to practice and play games. We don't all need
there'd be
palaces.
too many people that would get upset by that. That it's why is this just hockey?
Like
and why
it's-
is this so
well,
small? Why is there just 2 rinks? Why isn't there more amenities?
Yeah.
Everything's about amenities these
I
days.
guess so.
Which I don't agree with
I understand to a point, but we need ice sheets.
Yep. You just that's 2 rinks, some dressing rooms, a nice concession spot
That's
that
it.
has the just easy coffee,
That's
hot
it.
chocolate, candy that you get at Costco Business Center.
That's all you need.
That's it.
Dude, I was at a rink one time. It didn't even have a canteen, and the vending machine was broke. I'm like, I've never been in a rink that you couldn't at least buy a coffee at.
Yeah.
But so I just think out of necessity, put up 2 like the rinks we used to play in. One of them was literally called the barn because cattle were held in it when we weren't playing, like in the summertime. So you can't tell me
classic.
you can't just throw up a shed,
A shell with.
shell with.
But that's what these rinks basically are now, and they find ways to run the cost up. And
I don't know.
I don't know what goes into it. I'm sure there's a lot, and the politics and red tape involved, especially if it's a city-owned facility.
For
It's probably
sure.
insane. I do remember tournaments on weekends. You get into a tournament, the best thing was the hot dog smell, the onions, and I'd always
Rink
be like,
burgers are so good.
rink burgers. I'd always be like, Dad, after the game, can I get a hot dog and a pop? And he'd be like, well, maybe score a goal.
You tried so hard.
And I'd get him, and sometimes I would. And I'd be like, can I get? He's like, yep, you did it. Good job. That was the motivator.
and the other thing I think our city needs is something in between Rogers Place and the Silent Ice Center or Claire Drake, right? Like,
Yeah.
look at the arenas we have where you can go and watch as a fan. You got Rogers, where the Oilers and the Oil Kings play. And
Yeah.
I was at the Seattle game the other day, and the atmosphere was great for the kids, but it's still cavernous. You got Claire Drake, which is, Matt and I were talking. The Bears and Pandas are going to play at Silent Ice Center next year while they do renovations, and it'll be interesting to see what that is. And then you have our rink. There's nothing in between. Like, there's not a 10,000 seater.
well, they
Like, what's the community rink?
they
2,500 or
Yeah.
something like that.
oh yeah, if that they were gonna build a an arena like 9,000 right beside where that event center, the tent
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
that you were talking about. They were going to build one there, and I think they were talking about getting an NLL team, and they're going to move the Oil Kings over across the street too.
Yeah.
That's done. You know what they're building there now is that new event center, indoor-outdoor space. I was talking to buddies from OEG the other day,
Which will obviously have a purpose
they
too.
said
But
it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Like people in the city don't understand what we're about to get, which I'm happy and encouraged by. And I really hope it doesn't get value engineered like a lot of projects in our city. But you're right, Dino. Like the only thing in between a big arena like Rogers and the smaller ones that I can think of that our city has but doesn't use is the Expo Center, which is like 45.
Which OEG stopped.
Yeah, and I don't think that
OEG
ice plant
blocked
has
that.
been used in forever. But it's central. It's on the LRT line. There's major arteries that go to it, and there's plenty of parking.
there's nothing else.
But they
for
don't use
anything
that
in between.
They just the
Just
Stingers
it's
use
empty.
it, and they've renovated it. It's great, but that is the only venue in my mind that our city has that's over 1,000.
But you
in
couldn't
between.
play hockey there.
Because I don't
'Cause
think
there's
they
no
use
ice
the
plant.
ice plant. I don't know what Northlands is doing with it. Maybe they were told to shut it down.
I'm gonna guess it's way too old.
Could you get a couple million and put a new ice plant in there?
Sure, why not? And then
And have that in between venue.
I just
don't
think
know.
that we're missing that, right? Like there's the Oil Kings playing in Rogers might be cool during the day when you get to walk by Connor McDavid or something like that. But we've talked to players in the past. Atmosphere's not great.
Well, yeah, it's like 9 or 10,000 in that lower
If that,
bowl.
yeah. And the Oil Kings crush teams in attendance, but it doesn't seem like that when you go to the game. I mean, we were at the game the other day, and there had to have been like 200 Seattle fans there. I think there's 14 Edmonton and area kids on that team, so there was a lot. We could hear them the whole time. The only time you ever get that is when the Habs or the Leafs or whatever come to town, right? So because it's so small, and then you add in another 200 fans that are going to be louder, it's just not the atmosphere that as a junior player you're like,
That's a
where
good
you
point.
go to some of these other rinks and it explodes on you when you come out on the ice, right?
Yeah.
It's what the Oilers get and what other junior teams get in the smaller centers. So if you're and I don't know if the Oil Kings or the Oil, because it's the same organization, but if you're the Oil Kings, you're like, please put us in like a 7,000 seat arena, even 10,000.
Well, that was the intention.
Yeah.
COVID hit, and I think that plan got scrapped.
So
and
that
now-
was going back to then.
Apparently, they were ready for shovels in the ground. So
Well, and ever since then, building costs have gone
way
crazy, right? So
my old coach Darren Belachek says, "Hey Tommy, don't forget about Santa Rosa. That's what is now Russ Barnes Arena. Yes, that was like MLAC Central.
Right.
The clubhouse was right by there. Awful arena.
Somebody says MLSC Yegbear was founded in 1931.
Yeah,
1931.
yeah,
So yeah, we're not far away from 100 years for them.
yeah. They're-
So, but they would have started on outdoor rinks for
course.
sure.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just,
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
But you know what? Maple Leaf Athletic Club is kind of like the East End Community Center in Brandon. Like it was your region, right?
yeah.
So it was your community team.
But that was like CAC's like Northwest, West, South
But so
Side.
it was the same thing as what we
KC, a
had
little bit of
in
everywhere.
Brandon, where it was like East End, West End, North End,
Yeah.
Central.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. It was just called something different. So
Yep.
it was community, and then it morphed into Edmonton minor hockey, or maybe it was might have been named something different.
Yeah.
But it certainly has evolved into something more than what community leagues used to be. Like the game is, gone like this
Yeah.
in the last 50 years or whatever, when you want to go back to 1931, you said?
31. Yep.
So like in the last, 100 years, even, 31 to the 70s or the 80s, that's, to me is when the 80s hit, is when hockey started going a little bit very serious and off the rails in some cases and things like that. Like it took, for me, the game of hockey took a giant step in the 80s, and then, the 90s, more and more and more.
Yeah.
And that's, we didn't have year round, and we didn't have academies in the early 80s and stuff. Late 80s and the 90s is when, to me, that stuff started happening. Like our summer hockey and spring hockey was renting ice. Hey, we, phone John, John phones Frank, the telephone game to say we've got ice rented.
Yeah.
There was no text group. Remember Marcus Larocque asking us when we were on the Hangout that time about, you guys didn't have Snapchat when you were doing scheduling? And be like, no, there's not even internet, right?
You'd have a notepad and some phone numbers.
And a calendar.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to play spring hockey, you rented an ice at an arena.
Yeah.
And you phoned all your buddies and you went and you played and everybody chipped in their $10, $5 or whatever. But there was no spring hockey back then. Maybe a simpler time, but I still think where the game is going, although we've, had some detours and things like that, I still think the game of hockey in Canada is not broken, despite what, the hand wringing this week.
Just needs to be put back onto the right track.
And honestly, I chalk up the World Juniors to a bit of coaching and not being able to adapt to what Czechia did. I mean, how come nobody is talking about the lack of adaptation? The Swedes adapted pretty good to it against Czechia in the final. Canada couldn't. Stop bashing the players or the development or whatever, and maybe talk about the lack of adaptation in one game that maybe would have taken all of this off the table, because if they win that and then they win the gold, nobody's talking about this.
Yeah.
One game. And defensively, this team had all kinds of troubles. Offense wasn't their problem. I felt not being able to adapt against the Czechs brought all of this on. And that goes to the coaching staff, in my opinion.
I'm with you, Dean, on pinpointing one single game and saying it's a huge systemic problem. I'd say if you looked at the tournament as a whole and how the team played and how they created the team and all of that and what kind of talent we have, then that's like a big picture conversation.
Yeah, and they've lost 3 years to the same team, so it's magnified in this.
Sure. But the group losing that game the way they did, having to, claw their way out of 4 deficits, I think we could just hone in on that group that was together for a couple of weeks,
right?
And be like, well, what happened to them? I thought they caved they couldn't handle the moment.
And to me, the coaching staff has to say, okay, what's happening here? Mm-hmm. We gotta regroup. We didn't expect Czechia to come out with this much, but there was zero. I didn't think they adapted very well, and to me, that's coaching.
Yeah, I look at the coaching a lot. I was talking about with Dusty earlier this week too. Because I think when we look at the World Juniors, Canada hasn't medaled, but won gold in a while and all of that. It's cyclical. If you look at the history of the World Juniors, there's been stretches where Canada dominates for 5-6 years. Then we go away, and then we dominate again, and then we go. It's just ups and downs, and it's just we've always had that. I've always, to me, it's just more of the coaching there. You need the right coach, and it maybe seems that for this little run, Dale Hunter wasn't the right coach.
Yeah, I just think that they got out-coached. They got outplayed in that semifinal. It was.
We have talent.
Yeah.
And
then there's
last year we took a team. We tried building a team as a nation and we lost. This year we tried building all-stars and we lost. So, but these guys are all getting drafted in the NHL. It's not like they have no talent.
Yeah.
So to me, that comes okay. Well, why didn't we do better as maybe coaching in that sense?
Yeah, I and the roster build up. I mean, you could do this seriously every year. I honestly don't think Canada has ever taken a bad team to the World Juniors. These are all-star players. Mm-hmm. Like you said, these guys are going to be NHL players, drafted. I don't my dad still complains about Brent Sutter not taking 2 Vikings that scored 50 goals the year that Belzy played in North Dakota. They didn't lose a game. Yeah. They were the most dominant team ever. But he still complains about Brent Sutter not doing it. So every single year, you can have 2 hours, 5 hours.
Jari? Which one got snubbed? There was 1 year.
Jari got snubbed, yeah. But you can debate the whole time. And Jari might have went to that team and they might have lost. It's such a hypothetical thing. But it's not like they're saying this guy in Lethbridge is good. But there's this junior B guy who is lighting it up in the Capital B League. Take him.
We're going to shock everyone with this player.
They're not doing that. You're taking guys that are legitimate on the team for a reason. Is there maybe some bias when you're picking the team? Sure.
Of course.
The same reason Brent Sutter took Colin Fraser on that team in North Dakota, because he knew every shift what he was going to get from him when he tapped him. Same with Ryan O'Mara that was on that team. Go out and throw one hit every shift.
Sorelli for the Team Canada Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same thing. The only time I think they ever made a mistake was Rob Zamner instead of Mark Messier in 1998. And that was the Bobby Clark team where Lindros was the captain. But even still, that's not the reason they lost. Maybe put Gretzky in the damn shootout. I digress. Over
Mark Crawford.
Anyway, I don't think Canada has ever sent a bad team to a tournament. I don't think Canada has ever sent, I don't think roster construction is as big of an issue as people think. And that's just my opinion. Because these are all still really good players.
Well, the thing is,
we just disagree on where they're from, and this guy should be there, and this guy should be there.
if we go win gold, we're happy. But if we don't win gold, it's a huge issue.
If they don't lose to Czechia,
if we get silver, bronze, don't medal, it doesn't matter. We're all just pissed off, and it's roster construction, or this is a huge as opposed to it just wasn't our year. Maybe
it just wasn't and I'll stand by the coaching. If they adapt, boom, they go.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm thinking back to that game, and I remember how tentative they were whenever Czechia would attack.
And Czechia was all over them.
Yeah, as soon as they would tie it, Czechia came right back at them, and they never. And maybe it was the messaging from the coaching, Dino. Maybe it was,
I just don't know how
not having that confidence breathed into them. Like, hey, boys, ride this momentum. Maybe Dale Hunter said that. I don't know, but it just felt like you'd watch Canada get the equalizer, and then all of a sudden the Czechia
never let up,
right back in their zone, and somehow the puck would wind up in the back of Canada's net. And it's like, what's happening? And it happened 4 times.
Yeah, and kudos to Czechia, because no other team tried that with Canada, and that's the respect factor. It's like, if we pressure and we get caught, Canada's coming back the other way. Czechia was like, we have nothing left. Like, we're playing with house money here. Everybody expects Canada to win. Let's pressure. And they caught him off guard. And teams do that. Like, Patrick Waugh is a master class at tactics, right? As coaches. And I don't know who the Czechia coach was, but he should get an extra silver medal for the tactical job that they did on Canada in that semifinal. It flustered Canada to no end. And like you said, even when they would get their head above water, Czechia would dunk them again, right? Like, they never let up once.
And I said this last week after they lost, or earlier in the week, whenever it was. But when I remember they caught on the camera, that the ice, the guy goes on the ice with the camera, which I think is great, by the way.
The White Rabbit.
Yeah, and that mic is hot on that camera. And I remember Canada got an equalizer. I think it was Reshny's second goal, and they're doing the fly by the bench. And one of the Canadian guys goes, "Let's go. This is our house." And I was like, that's a very odd thing to say. You're in Minnesota. This is not your house. And that's why I thought, I'm like, maybe the group mentality was slightly off, but maybe I'm reading too much into it. But I remember being like, did he really say this is our house? Like, this is not your house.
Yeah.
Like, you're on neutral territory. Like,
well, you're on the American.
Take the game.
Yeah.
Take the game.
Yeah.
To me, that was odd, but I could be just reading too much into it.
And I'm more disappointed in the overall aspects of this tournament than I am of Canada, winning bronze medal instead of gold, and the fact that, like, when are Americans, and I apologize, I'm not trying to label every American, but when is an American World Junior Tournament going to live on its own? Like, why are you? Let's go back to North Dakota so the Canadians come down.
Buffalo.
Let's go to Minnesota
Buffalo,
so the Canadians come down. Buffalo so the Canadians come down. Why are you relying on? I get it. We're a hockey mad nation, but when Canadians don't show up, your tournament looks like this.
That's because
Canadians are not wanting to go to the States right now.
Because it's pretty obvious that this tournament isn't anything
outside of Canada.
Canada.
Well, in Europe it is.
Like, what's the attendance?
I'd say maybe in Finland and maybe
Latvia when they go there.
Sure, but
anything in Latvia is off the charts.
But it's
you're right.
inflated by what Canada as a nation has done hosting it.
Yeah. So why not take this and flip it on its ear and put it in LA or put it in Tampa?
Because you want to see no-show crowds.
But don't you think if I'm a Canadian and I'm saying, do I want to go to freezing cold North Dakota at Christmas? Do I want to? And I'm just saying, you might get more people and the snowbirds that come and watch that because they're going to a warm weather. Because putting it in cold weather right by the border is not obviously the guarantee for your tournament.
Yeah.
Like they've had
That's
it. I
true.
remember they had it in Boston in like 1996 and it was empty. And that, that's when it truly was a Canadian tournament.
Mm-hmm.
North Dakota, Canadians. Buffalo, Canadians. Minnesota, Canadians didn't show up. In this tournament, I don't know. Do you think it was a success attendance wise? I don't.
It didn't look
I think
like
it.
it.
Looked like a failure to me.
But yeah, like I don't know what the Americans got for their American games. But so I went to Sweden. That's the last time it was held in Europe. And there was a Canada and Sweden and Finland were all in one group. And they got decent attendances throughout. It was 9,000, 11,000.
That's pretty good.
5,000 for Finland, Germany. That was kind of the low end.
That's
of
pretty
things.
good even
Latvia,
still.
Yeah.
Finland was 6,400. But then you go
And
to
I bet you it wasn't in a 20,000 person arena too. I don't know. It just seems like those would be in smaller. I don't know what.
12,000.
See,
That's
But it
pretty
might
good.
be-
that's a great arena size.
So
for the
then,
World
but then
Junior.
for the other side, it was 900, 1,300, 900, 1,200, 1,400, 2,000, 2,500 for Czechs and US, 1,000, 1,400, 1,500. So it's like, and then once we got to the knockout, some numbers rose, but like Latvia, US, 2,700 for
I think that's what this
game.
tournament is. And I think that's why you have to stop holding it in 20,000 seat arenas.
yeah.
I mean, the World Junior Summer Tournament that they tried to have that year
That was awful.
awful.
Do you know there was one game because I was doing some stuff for Hockey Canada and IIHF. They're trying to do like an in-house show for
Yeah.
it. So I was the host, and I remember we finished the shows for the day. So I went to pop into the arena. Our studio was in the Sutton Place Hotel
Yeah.
or whatever, and I went to go watch a game, catch up with some friends that were in town to cover it. And there's like 50 people at this game.
It's crazy.
I don't remember who it was, who was playing, but there was like 50
remember
people
that, yeah.
in an 18,500 seat arena.
And that's the anomaly. I get it. They were trying to recreate the tournament, whatever it was. And honestly, that was the best ending of a tournament because that's when Mason McTavish pulled it off
crazy.
the goal line and they went down and scored.
Yeah.
So the least amount of people watched one of the best finishes in a tournament. But, that's what this tournament is host team and, Canada and whatever your rivalries are going to get the crowds. And you know what? Do you expect more than 2,500 people for U.S. Germany? No.
It's a junior tournament.
Put it in a 5,000 seat arena.
Or where you've been, like the big stadium should have been where the Canada was
right.
playing, the Golden Gophers play.
That's right.
It was a 10,000 seat arena.
Yeah.
That should have been your main arena.
Yeah.
And you should have found a smaller arena. I'm assuming maybe there's another, 5,000, 2,500 seat arena. That could have been, so US is playing out of the main one. And then the other one's out of that small
You
one.
could go to where Eden Prairie plays high school hockey and probably fill that place up and it would look like I played high school hockey in Manitoba. We would go to the United States to play in tournaments and there would be like 3,500 people at our games. I'm like, what are these people doing? We have friends and family that come to our game, if that. So there are high school stadiums down in, at least in North Dakota where we went, and Minnesota's the state of hockey. It would be the same thing where you could have done that. This, you're right. They went to Halifax, and every single person, not every single, but almost every second comment I saw was, remember Halifax? Remember Halifax? They went to Halifax. They did that. And then, so I just don't understand it. Like, if you want to come to back to Alberta, just go Red Deer and Olds or something. Like, there's got to be another Red Deer in the Silent Ice Center if it wasn't dealing with Hockey Canada.
Right.
It's just silly. It's silly. And if you want to say the gold medal game is at Rogers Place or at the Saddle Dome, okay.
Sure.
But remember 2011, I think it was, when Calgary and Edmonton hosted? Mm-hmm. It was empty for so many games.
And
even the
Canada got knocked out early too.
Yeah.
Even the Canada-Finland game, the very first game.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was 2011. It was all of those years.
It's 11, 12. They might,
Yeah.
because
Might have been 12.
the years before. So like I think it might have been the World Juniors 2012, but it was 2011, 12.
But it was one of those things where I'm like, Calgary got the round robin games and Edmonton got the medal games.
It was flip.
Flip.
It was flip.
Calgary got the good stuff. Or
that's right.
But that's why. So we got the Canada games to start.
That's right.
But then they didn't even get the gold medal game with Canada in it because they fell beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, I think my dad and I went to like a Czech Germany game or something like that. And
I went to Canada,
5,000
Finland, and I'm
people.
like, there was nobody. Well, there was people there, but it was anyway.
Was small.
It just they need to sort it out.
That's fair.
But that's why it's the money, and it's Canada's the only country that really cares, and that's why it's here every 2 years.
Yeah.
And so the next one is in Canada. So obviously this year coming up, list one, it'll be Edmonton Red Deer. Then I don't know where it goes, and then after that it's Quebec City and Trois-Rivières, which I think that could be a good one.
See, and that's not bad because the Colisée is still an quote unquote NHL, but it's a smaller NHL.
And they don't have an NHL team.
Yeah, so I think that one could work. I going to NHL markets is neat. But you got to have a secondary arena that you can use because it's just a cave.
Yeah, I once every 10 years bring it to an NHL market.
Yeah.
I want Regina to get it in, or Saskatoon or something. Like those are the people that's World Juniors.
Well, Saskatoon,
but
it's funny.
the money.
Saskatoon is where that was the first time where that big 50-50 started.
Yeah.
That was the 2011 because that was Eberle. It was the year after he scored the semifinal goal. They wore the green jerseys
for the Riders,
and then they lost to the U.S. in overtime.
It's a great game too.
And Jamie Thomas and I were sitting like right behind the net.
Didn't
when
Eberle
that
have
scored.
a big tying goal in that one too?
He did. In the U.S. game, he tied the good game in the second period or the third period. And then the U.S. Ended up.
Was that John Carlson?
John Carlson, yeah.
It was like a back and forth, whatever.
Yeah,
The goalie, Martin Jones, was in net for the overtime losing goal. And then he was also in net for an overtime losing goal at the Memorial Cup semifinal for the Calgary Hitmen. So Martin Jones lost an overtime final at the World Juniors and an overtime semifinal at the Memorial Cup in the same year. I asked him that question right after the Memorial Cup, too. I'm like, hey, this has been a tough year for you. Not one of my prouder moments, but I was a young reporter that thought asking brave questions was the way to go.
Yeah.
Was he upset?
He wasn't happy, no.
Okay.
Obviously, as I would expect.
No, with your question, like was he snarky? to you
No, he was. He just gave like, it sucks, and I tried really hard or whatever. He wasn't a jerk about it. I thought about it later. I'm like, probably not the best question to ask right after referring to another event, but is what it is. One of the many wrong questions that I have asked in my lifetime.
We've all asked wrong questions. It happens.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes right in the middle of your question, you're like, this is not going to end well. I asked Todd Bertuzzi about Todd Bertuzziing Steve Moore one time, and that ended the scrum in Edmonton. His first time back, I waited till everybody got their game day questions out of the way, and then I asked my question, and then he just turned around and walked away.
That's a fair question for his first time here.
It was his first time, and I let everybody get their questions out. We knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then
Somebody had to ask that question.
Tichkowski's like, thanks for ending the scrum. And I'm like, the scrum went on long enough.
What year did that happen? 2007?
No, 2003, because I remember that night, Jamie Thomas and I were roommates, and we were watching that game live. And we're like, well, I guess we know what we're doing tomorrow now.
Kidding.
Like, it was because we were fanned out everywhere to get streeters and reaction and stuff. So that was around 2003, 2004. Maybe it was 2005 because he played on the Olympic team in 06.
Yeah, he did.
And that was the big thing. Are they going to take Bertuzzi after his suspension and this and that and the other?
Mm-hmm. That was awful what he did.
Yeah, that was crazy. We were watching it that night going...
March 2004.
2004. Wow. So it was like we were watching on NHL Network or whatever it was back then, and we were like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we know what stories we're working on tomorrow.
That was bad.
It was quite funny when Jamie and I we both worked weekends. We would phone each other. I'd phone him at HN. I'd be like, what do you got going today? Oh, I didn't know that was going on. He'd be like, what do you got going? Oh, I got this. Oh, I didn't know that was going on. So we were like competitors, but we just shared. And same with Mudryk at CTV. We all went out together after our shows and, hung out together. So it was like competitive, but not really competitive. Like, I'm not telling him I've got a scoop of an injury or something like that. Yeah. But we totally shared.
But there's this thing that happened in curling. That was a big deal or whatever.
This event's going on. You might want to send a camera out to it.
It's changed so much.
It's not the fierce TV wars as shown in Anchorman.
No.
where Brick killed a man.
Yeah, you might want to lay low. I mean to talk to you about that.
I had like one of those, like the mace or whatever.
Brick had a trident.
This is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada Storage, experts more than 2 decades helping Canadians life transitions. Life's transitions, Canada Storage provided by Canadian. Check them out, sentinel.ca. The official drink of the EST Hangout is the Finnish long drink legend in 1952. A drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment, real liquor. Longdrink.com/Canada is where you can enter your post, go find a liquor store establishment nearest you with the long drink in stock. I think Tommy went to the bathroom, but Tom
Or he
Gazzola,
just bailed.
He just got up and left, but I think that's
He left his
break.
phone, so he's probably coming back.
Well, he's going to have to at some point. Tom Gazzola will be back. Millard from For Vengeance Media and Matt Iwanyk with you here on the Hangout here in Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Reminder at 11 o'clock.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so 11 o'clock, we got Lock Shop. We've got 2 guys in the goal, EST Afternoons and the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. Plus, we'll have the GCLD's Oilstream pre- and post-game shows as Oilers Jets tonight.
You ever reprogram somebody's phone?
No.
So when my brother worked at Sportsnet, Corey Blashill, Gene Principe's camera guy, reprogrammed his BlackBerry when he left the room one time. And then Darren texted a GM and basically said F off. Like he
changed the contact name.
The quick keys or whatever.
Oh, he changed the wording.
Yeah. So he would like type hi and it was like F off. So yeah, it's pretty good. I got to hand it to Corey Blashill. That's a pretty good prank.
The one I've done before on somebody was change their language.
Oh, that would be so frustrating.
Yeah.
So you just go into
You can go in settings and change the language. So then you don't have to know where to go to get your settings changed.
That's why you always have a lock on your phone and computer.
Mine's an easy one. I'm not that worried. But yeah, I have one. And I also have my fingerprint and all that. But yeah, I've done the...
Changing the language.
I've done the language.
Especially if the person doesn't know how to get it back and they're so frustrated. We were just saying... You left your phone, and I was asking if you ever reprogrammed somebody's phone.
Blashill did that to my brother.
Blashill did that to my brother one time and changed his BlackBerry. So that's why you always have to protect computers. Never leave a press box area with your computer open.
Don't do that.
Stuff that ends up on your computer.
Yeah. I did a lot of those in Nate. I remember we'd messed with people's stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing we would do is we'd create a bunch of folders and label them very poorly. Then you screen cap that. And then you make that the wallpaper, and then you delete all the folders.
Oh, that
and then the person keeps trying to delete the folders, and they can't. Initially, like you're like,
they're right clicking,
and they can't. And then they eventually they figure, oh, it's the wallpaper. But initially, you're like, right click this, and like I can't do that. Like
that's
always
pretty diabolical, actually, because that would take them a while to figure it out.
Yeah, and like you do a bunch of folders, and you load it up with like porn and different names and all of that, and then you delete all the folders, but it's sitting there.
I miss pranks. Pranks are
harmless
fun.
Pranks are fun.
Harmless pranks are fun. You guys probably have a lot of pranks around here. I think this would be like a prank house.
I don't think so. I'm trying to think if there's any real pranks here.
Interesting. You know what?
There is one. I did a few at the old place. Not going into one. One is I think it was Will Fraser's chair. He liked this black chair that had no back to it, and I took it. And then I did like a whole ransom note stuff and did all that stuff, and even cut a piece off of it and sent it to them. And then one day I just left it back in the room, and it was back.
There's a national level broadcaster. I'm not going to say his name, but he was working in Edmonton at one point, and they pranked him by saying the Philadelphia Flyers wanted to hire him as their play-by-play guy. And he went in and quit.
No.
Thankfully, they had told the boss after, be like, hey, he's not really quitting. We pranked him. Yeah.
That's harsh.
That's not a harmless prank.
No.
That's a prank that could derail somebody's career if they handled that quitting.
That's a dude you don't like.
Yeah, you do not do it.
Or you have to be smart about that, and your boss has to be in.
He has to be in.
You have to cover every basis on that. But also, why are you quitting so soon before like a contract's in front of you or like you're
like,
signing something or all of that?
Hey, so and so, like they're phoning you and pretending hey, we want to hire you.
Yeah.
Wait till you have the contract, then go in, because everybody dreams of quitting like in Half Baked, right? Like everybody has a dream of doing that.
Well,
you're cool. F you. I'm out of here.
I guess even if you do get everyone involved, if that's the way they go out, they're screwed anyway.
Yeah, and this guy, he didn't lose his job, so the boss, understood or whatever. But how would your relationship be with your boss after that? Eh? I think they'd be a little bit testy depending on what you said.
It's that if it was like, hey, I've got a job to go be the voice of the Flyers,
and this wasn't that.
That would be that. I would be like, yeah, that's cool. If it's anything more than that, then
this
it's
was
like,
more. I don't think it was exactly what's that guy's name in Half Baked, like Romeo or I don't know, whatever that guy's name. I don't think it was quite like that. But it was still like, I'm too good for this, and I'm getting out of here, and I'm going to do this. Now, the guy has made national level, so he is very good at his job, and that's probably something that he can laugh at now.
I'm still trying to think of good prank around here.
I mean, if that happens to you, you got to wonder what your peers think of you.
That's what I mean, right? Mm-hmm. Like maybe that's like, hey, maybe I'm not everything I think I am.
Yeah.
Like
I think I know who you're talking about because I think I've heard this one.
A harmless prank, like Darren Drager tells me the stories about like the lubricant on the door when you go to open the door or whatever,
oil it up or whatever,
things like that.
Yeah.
Some of those things that go on or whatever are quite funny.
Yeah.
But those are the harmless ones that don't affect anybody.
If it is who I think you are describing, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I will tell you after. I'm not going to drop the name on air, unfortunately, but yeah.
No, they've done quite well.
Yeah.
If it is. But in my interactions with said person, if it is that person, I get it.
Yeah. Well, and like that's like a prank, and then this person got back at the person who pranked them too.
What did they do?
Filled their entire car with styrofoam.
Nice one.
Oh, gross.
So then it was coming out of the vents.
Wow.
All that stuff, and like broke them up and stuff. So
Oh, you can't break those up.
That's
causing problems. Now you've got like car issues.
Yeah, that gets it.
Could have wrecked a career
That's true.
too.
That's true.
Right? So
Beth says big use is vote LT for the EST account is probably the most recent one. But is that a prank?
what's that?
Kind
so
of.
during our last EST draft, somebody jumped into the nasty chat
on our
and said vote LTE, vote Reed Wilkins, vote Benny, but then continually kept going vote LTE, and we don't know who it is
on our Edmonton Sports Talk account.
So it's in-house, and we don't know who it is.
So it's somebody that works here.
Yes.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have. I know everyone. So there's I think
So
only
somebody is.
There's only
you guys need Benny Blanc, the detective. What's that?
I think we know who it is.
the only person
Daniel
that
Craig.
is completely cleared, 100% cleared, is Walking Gage because he's the only one that doesn't have access to that account. He is not.
Yeah.
I could see. I know.
Well, it
everyone-
wasn't me. It's honest. In all honesty, it was not me.
Interesting.
It could be you then, if you want to be
Absolutely,
like. If you want to be like that.
I said legitimately the only person that is 100% cleared is Walking Gage because he doesn't have access. It isn't me, but I know that.
How do
but
we know it's
exactly,
not you?
Exactly. With you.
How do you know it's not him?
Well, so the reason, so we did go through a period where we're crossing names off.
Yeah.
And how it went is during that day, we went back and looked. And whenever we saw Vote LT come on screen, we looked at who was on camera and were they on their phone. And we were able to clear myself because it happened and I wasn't on my phone. We cleared Dusty. We cleared Eric. We cleared Benny. We cleared Reed.
Can you
Then
send
we cleared,
scheduled posts like emails?
Not in, this is in the nasty chat here, so you can't do that one. We cleared, so Gager was cleared.
You guys did do some detective work.
There was, Hernan got cleared for later. There was a few. So the only two people that didn't get cleared in the end with live video proof is Tommy and Trev. They were the two.
So he's a suspect.
Apparently.
I can't believe you
But in the
discussed the
end-
case in front of the suspect.
That's
The flip side is we actually don't know who this is still.
What if somebody
On top of
hacked in?
I think there is
No.
you can't do that with this. And I think there's a copycat now. I think they're turned into a copycat at some point.
Maybe it's a team.
Who do you think it is? Is it Jay?
I think it was Trev. Or Jay. Or maybe a combination of both.
A team.
So, and then now this was quiet for a while until Dusty brought it up yesterday. So now I think it's Dusty because why is he bringing this up again? We all forgot about that.
Misdirection, maybe?
Abutski says, was Glue Guy cleared? Glue Guy was cleared because there's two reasons he got cleared. One, he showed me his phone. No, he showed me his computer and he did not have history of YouTube for the day. So he wasn't on YouTube. So that part. Then with his phone.
I think you were easily convinced.
It wasn't there on the computer.
Okay.
And then I left the room. It was just him and Gage, and then it popped up on screen. I asked Gager after, was Jay on his phone? And he said no. So that's how Jay got cleared.
Wild.
Yeah, the Kelvin Van Dassler said popped up yesterday. I know, now I think they were in full copycat mode because it popped up right after Dusty was going around, be like, who was this, Jay?
Sure.
I know this was you. So somebody was just joking around at that point. So I don't know if that's a prank, though.
Yeah, it's kind of
prank, but that's more like the
it's evolved into something else.
The hockey pranks used to do, like the cellophane over the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
gross.
Yeah, that's terribly gross.
Yeah.
Or like you can get really crazy and like move a guy's furniture.
Oh, what was the other prank? Oh,
Right? Like sometimes you see the NHL teams do that with the rookies, right? Rookies that come down the hall and all their furniture's out in the hallway. Like bed,
That's
dresser.
Yeah.
There was somebody that worked at Virgin Radio. I took her wallet and I took a picture of it.
Oh.
And I can't remember how, and I texted her later. I'm like, I took your wallet. And then I had pictures of me in town. I can't remember how I did it.
Was it Mariah?
No, it wasn't. It was Shannon Burns. But I knew somebody else was going to be in the building, so I left the wallet with them. I took one picture, I think, with me driving out of the office.
And then took it back.
And then I quickly took it back, gave it to the guy. She didn't see me. And then I just was like, oh, I'm here now. And I was taking pictures where it was. And she got to a point where she was very panicking that I had her wallet and I was completely away from town, like across town, and she had a party to go with later at that night. That was a fun one for me.
That's a good one.
Because then finally, like, I told the guys to give her the wallet back and she was all relieved and stuff.
Yeah. We used to do leaners on in hotel on hockey trips. So you'd fill a bucket of water or you take a garbage pail, fill it with ice, lean it up against the door. So like this is the door, it's leaning like this. And then you either knock on the door or you just let it sit there, and then they open up the door to leave in the morning, and water splashes everywhere. The leaner. But
The leaner.
you had to be careful because if you were in a hotel room with all carpet, you could wreck the carpet and get a cleaning bill, right?
Yeah.
Like we did this as like 13-year-olds. We didn't care.
Right.
But I'm sure some of our parents got cleaning bills. The leaner was it's the long game, right? Because you're setting it up at night and waiting, and then you either gotta, if you want to see it, you got to get up early and be waiting, right?
Yeah, that's true.
There's a few. The other one, I've never done this one, but apparently a good one is if you go in someone's house, you move all their utensils around.
Oh yeah.
Just so when you go in, it's just that little bit.
That would be
That'd be annoying.
We wanted to do one to our friends one time where we were going to take all their pictures out of their frames and put in like pictures of us or like different people or whatever.
See, that's pretty funny.
There's a good one that happens at Christmas where somebody puts up Darth Vader burning.
No way.
And puts it on the TV and sees how long it takes for their family to realize they're not watching a Yule log, but they're watching
Darth Vader
burning.
That's a good one.
That one was pulled up for one of my Christmases this year.
Nice.
There was another. Rashog did this one to Mark Spector. This was the Specs deck. I remember one year. Rashog went around his whole house and had Post-it notes and wrote TSN's better or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I posted in a lot of spaces. And then he put it like under a pool table and stuff like that. And then there was this one thing on the wall. I remember I took it off and Rashog put it behind it. And we're like, until he moves, he's never going to see this one. And then the next year we went to Specs deck. Like, because he had seen them, he'd take them all down. I went quickly and I found it. I turned around and it was still there.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
That would have been there for Spec eventually has moved. It would have been there until he moved. That there would just been this one piece of TSN's better that was just always in his house.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, now I want to make a prank. Do a prank. Yeah, I forgot about that wallet one I did though. That was a fun one. I had a good time with that one.
See, that would scare me though. I'd be like,
I'd be freaked
where is
out.
my wallet?
Yeah. Yeah, same.
But I had left it. It was still in that office that she was never going to leave without it. Because even if she was leaving, she was on air till midnight. And there was the other guy. And I was like, Ewa, when you're leaving, just give it to her.
I would be like searching the whole station for that wallet.
But I sent a picture that I had it.
Oh, that's right.
Like so she thought, and then when I was like, oh, I'm at Dollarama now, and took a picture that I'm in Dollarama, like here's the time and all that. So she thought I now still had that wallet because I was leaving.
Yeah.
And I
That would
took
definitely
picture.
give me some anxiety.
She
Losing my
thought it was
wallet.
funny after.
Well,
She
that's good.
said it was well done, but
That's funny.
yeah. Portions of this hour, the EST Hangout, they're brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehighproductmarketing.com. Her girlfriend was ready to kill me, though.
Yeah.
That's what I was told.
No kidding.
So, are you a Dolphins fan?
I was a Dolphins fan for a long time.
Thought you were.
And then I switched to the Raiders, actually.
Oh, you've switched?
I did.
Why would you pick the Raiders?
Yeah, good choice.
Bo Jackson, one of the reasons, and the Princess of Darkness. Do you know who this is? The right-hand woman of Al Davis.
Oh, yes. You had her on the show.
Yes,
Who's
Amy. And I apologize.
Is she Mark Davis's mom?
No. She was a longtime exec. Amy
She was
Task?
Al Davis's right-hand woman. Like
Amy
she was-
Trask.
Amy
Wasn't it?
Trask.
Amy
yes.
Trask.
And so I should know this because the jersey I got has Bo Jackson's number and then Trask, A Trask on it. And I sent her a picture and she was very happy and whatever. So I had her on our show when I did it, and she is phenomenal. Like, she was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She, buys into the whole Raider dark, just a great person. So I switched to the Raiders. I'm like, I'll go with the Raiders and see. I got sick of it was, I don't know if it was just a convenient excuse, but there was something that happened during COVID with the Dolphins or something, and I was like, oh, this is just. Or
Wasn't the owner?
Yeah, it was the owner
Yeah.
had done something, and it might not even been COVID. Actually, it might have been
Wasn't the kneeling?
the kneeling. Yeah, sorry, that's what it was.
Black Lives Matter
When he
was-
said if players kneel, they're going to be done with it. I'm like, okay, I'm maybe that was a convenient excuse for me because the Dolphins had sucked for so long.
Yeah.
So I switched to the Raiders after a while, and I honestly I don't even know what's going on with the Raiders now. They just fired Pete Carroll, and Tom Brady is getting involved. So I don't even know, but I am not a Dolphins fan.
Okay, well,
anymore.
because Belsey is, and they fired Mike McDaniel today.
I saw that.
Oh,
And where
Jesus,
yesterday
everybody's
with the
getting fired.
report
Jamie
was he
Thomas
wasn't-
is a big Dolphins fan.
I know he was. CG was.
Yes, that's right.
There's a few Dolphins
But
fans.
there's
around.
like 6 coaching vacancies now, isn't
I
there?
think it's up to 8.
I think it's 8 now.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
And
Because
seven
Harbaugh
yesterday.
getting fired after one subpar year is wild.
Well, and they lost on that missed field goal.
On a missed field
would've
goal.
made-
I think he still would have been fired if they lost this week.
Yeah.
Why? Just time?
So based on, time's one of them, based on everything I'm reading. So now there's conflicting reports whether he lost the room or not. Ian Rappaport said he lost the room. Adam Schefter came out yesterday, said he did not lose the room. But Rappaport's initial tweet was not everyone didn't like him. There was a few players, like there was a fair amount that didn't, but there were still players that did love him. So I don't know, conflicting reports from two of the best that do it. But it came down to he didn't want to make changes with his coordinators. And a lot of fans would be there saying Zach Orr needed to go. I'll be one of those.
Okay.
Apparently in-house, people wanted Todd Monken, the OC, to go, and a lot of players wanted him to go. And John was like, "No, I'm keeping my staff."
He's not the GM though, right?
No, Eric DeCosta.
Right, okay.
But and management wanted John Harbaugh too. They wanted
wanted
to keep
him to stay.
This was ownership. Ownership had a long conversation with him. So
okay.
I think if they had lost to the Texans, that conversation still would have happened. Hey, you need to change coordinator. John would have been like, no.
they
And I
were
think he still
8-9?
would have made
Or
8-9 in the end.
8-9,
So
yeah.
I think in the end, most likely this change probably still would have happened if they lost this week. They would have probably had to win a couple of playoff games for John to have continued. I don't like the move. I understand the move though, and why it's being done. And it's funny though, because the best job open right now is the Baltimore Ravens, and the best coach out there is John Harbaugh.
Yeah, like
And
that's-
we were just together, and now they're both immediately the best of what they are.
The other moves I get, like most of the moves, I don't think I would look at it and say, oh, it's really surprising. One team fired their coach and their GM at the same time. I think maybe
Which
the
is how it
Texans
should
or something
go.
like that. So I was like, okay, yeah. And Pete Carroll, one and done. Yeah, I get it. Like, but that one, after I'm like, have they been declining like that much? But they won 13 games last year or something like that,
Yeah,
didn't they?
it comes down to playoff success.
Yeah.
Having gone back to the Super Bowl when you have Lamar Jackson in that team and Derrick
guess.
Henry last couple of years. But there's also I could point to other reasons that they lost games.
Here's what I don't understand. How can the Cleveland Browns be so bad so long, but the New England Patriots have turned it around so fast? Like, how can some teams...
Ownership. Starts there.
I guess, but like,
Well, that's the same as the Raiders. Their ownership is a joke.
it's a complete gong show. How can the Patriots go from Brady to, was it Drake May right away?
No, what's his name? Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, right. And so they struggled, but they're back here. Whereas every Cleveland Browns jersey you look at has the 45 quarterbacks they've had for the last 15 years or whatever. It's just wild how some teams can be like, okay, we're going to suck and then we're good now. Like the Patriots, when was Brady's last Super Bowl in New England? 2013? No, not 2013.
Like
2017,
17, 18,
sorry.
something around there.
So it hasn't been that long since Brady has been gone. Mm-hmm. It's wild how some teams can just be like cyclically bad. That's their cycle, is just being bad.
The Browns were a playoff team a number of years ago with 11 wins. They had 5 quarterbacks that
Yeah.
year. That included Deshaun Watson, but they went and traded for Deshaun Watson and gave him a fully guaranteed contract. And it was like that was the moment. Like it looked like maybe the Browns were starting to get back to, okay, there's something here. This team could maybe be good for a little bit. And then they did the Deshaun Watson. It was like, oh, okay, you just gave up all these picks, all this stuff for this quarterback that you fully guaranteed his contract. And he's not what he once was before the suspension.
No.
And he also has all of his problems around him. And now you've derailed the franchise again. So it all starts with ownership. That's where it just comes down to.
Yeah, that must be it because it's embarrassing.
I'm a Cardinals fan, and their owners seems like an odd duck.
It's like baseball owners, right?
Yeah.
Like you've got a team in the Pittsburgh Pirates with the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
You're like, no, we're good. They're like, really?
They're content losing it.
The Detroit Tigers.
The baseball owners are just they hate baseball.
Yeah.
There's some owners there that just hate the sport for some
My
reason.
favorite thing is the Vegas Athletics not trademarking the Las Vegas Athletics.
They
and
couldn't
the
get the
last
patent.
dive bar, the biggest opponent of what's that guy's name? John, whatever his name is.
Is it Schneider?
No.
Who the
owner of the
A's
A's.
owner. Anyway,
John Fisher.
Fisher.
yeah. Their biggest proponent is the guy, like the last dive bar. They were like fighting with them and feuding with them. They are the ones that got the trademark. I mean, it's embarrassing that they didn't trademark it. It's doubly embarrassing that it'd be like the Calgary Flames trademarking the Oilers if the Oilers forgot to do it.
Yep.
Like that owner is the biggest embarrassment. That owner to me is the closest owner to the movie Major League.
It's stunning that when I saw that happened. Like, how does that happen? How do you get
Like,
set for
who's
this
getting
move
fired over that?
and you don't have the patent or the
So they're
trademark
going to have
space?
to just be called the Vegas Athletics.
No, that got declined as well.
Oh,
It was
too.
Las Vegas and Vegas.
Oh, I didn't
were
know it was both.
taken.
Yeah, that was turned down as well.
Well, that would have been smart.
Checkmate.
So what are they going to be? The Nevada Athletic?
They might have to be, unless that's patented by the same people.
Or they're going to have to give big bucks to this dive bar.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know if
But
that dive
if
bar
I'm the
is
dive bar, I
gonna know.
might not even sell.
That well,
It's
depends
not
how
worth the
deep the
You
hate
ripped
runs.
the team
Yeah.
from its roots and did everything you could to allow you to do this. If I'm the last dive bar, I don't care. You could offer me $100 million and I would probably take it. But
yeah.
I might not take it just to hold you hostage for what you did to that team and that community.
And if you're a bar, there's a business there. Print off your patents, frame those up in your bar.
No
For all the people in
kidding.
Oakland, come here.
Come
here,
watch
see this.
everything.
See this patent that we got. We've got you covered.
Yep.
All the history that they ripped out of that because of this owner and that, you know what? That would be a tourist attraction in Oakland.
Oh,
the
yeah.
team that holding the Oakland A's hostage. Like they might have to change their whole name, man.
And they're 100-something-year-old franchise, are
Yeah.
they not? They started in
Which-
Philly.
They did. They started in the Philadelphia.
If I'm a terrible person like John Fisher in terms of sports ownership, that's not a bad thing either.
Right, but it's a
I may
costly
be-
thing.
It is, but I can make a lot of money.
You could.
I now
By
also-
rebranding?
by rebranding, we're the Las Vegas Gamblers, let's say, whatever.
Yeah.
You can't use any athletics merch. Like it's all brand new stuff. We're already moving to the stadium. There's nothing up already, so
You're building
to put
a
in
new
those
stadium,
things.
yeah.
And the people in Vegas don't necessarily want the athletics.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
So maybe find a name that appeals to
Vegas
them a little
Deserts.
bit more.
The Vegas Deserters.
Deserters.
You just gain a whole bunch of, like, it might be, well, I can't be the Athletics anymore.
Yeah,
Here's
if
a
you're
full
John
rebrand.
Fisher, that's how you flip it.
I'm going to make a crap ton of money this way.
Keep your team that we don't need anymore. We don't care. He's ripped them out of there. We're going to rebrand, but that's how he spins it.
Here's how we're going to do this to you, Oakland. We're going to just kill that franchise, basically. The franchise lives on in a sense, but you can't even see the Athletics anymore. Screw you. Yeah. And that's how I think he'll play that out.
That's the only way he could come out ahead in this is by
he comes out ahead, but he comes out still as a dick.
Well, he
like
does,
an idiot, yeah.
but it's the only way he can flip the script.
Yeah.
That's too bad because their logo, their color scheme is actually
Best
awesome.
Which
Which is why I think
it.
as the bar, I think at some point you have to have a price and you have to give up that price.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Because otherwise you might be the reason there aren't any Athletics.
And I guess you
sports.
could end up getting some bad press because you're holding the history, the hostage.
If you make like 25 million or something like that, that's still fantastic. That's just checkmate right there.
If I'm John Fisher, do I want to pay you 25 million or do I want to spend 25 million on rebranding?
He doesn't like spending money at all.
Yeah, but he's going to have to spend money.
Yeah.
If he wants this name or he wants this name,
I'm rebranding. If I'm him, because I'm clearly
I don't want to give in to you. That's
absolutely,
why.
I'm vengeful. I'm vengeful at that point. Screw you.
He seems like a person who is vengeful.
Yeah.
And I bet you he would be like, you know what? Just to spite you, we're rebranding and take your crappy A's, whatever he's going to say, right?
At the same
Which
time,
is the best logo and colors in the and I'm a Dodgers fan.
It's a short-term windfall, I believe. But is it beneficial long term? I think having the A's would be more beneficial long term of people still liking the A's.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he looks very much long term the way he went through this Vegas situation.
Absolutely, but that's the only thing I could say. Where
that's the only way he wins.
I would probably pay the money to just get the Athletics because of the long term. I think, but I think for him, he'd look short term. I'll make a crap ton of money.
But
I
he's
could be
also vengeful.
I could do all this. Screw you.
Yeah.
We are now the Las Vegas. Whatever you want.
They have that
51s.
AAA team
The 51s.
They had the 51s. They became the Aviators.
Yeah.
They have a really cool like look and logo. And
I have a 51s hat. Connor Halley actually went to Vegas one time when he was my producer and brought me back a Las Vegas 51s hat.
Those are great logo.
It is a great logo with the eyes and everything.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to have gone a game.
I did go to a game.
No way.
At Cashman Field. Yeah. When Brett Laurie was playing for them.
Wow.
Yeah. It was.
Brett Laurie, the Blue Jays had an affiliation there?
Why was Brett Laurie in that game? Was I watching them play against the
Jays?
The Jays affiliate?
They might have. No, because they would have been Dunedin. No, were they? Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was a double A or something like that.
No,
Maybe
it
they
was
called up.
No, because Brett Laurie, and then there was another high-end prospect.
Well, was it when Brett Laurie got traded to Oakland?
No.
For the didn't Laurie get traded in the Tulowitzki deal?
He was in Athletics for the 15 year.
Okay, look up the 2012 Las Vegas 51s, like who they were affiliated with. Because I think it was right before they became affiliated with the Dodgers. Were they not affiliated with the Jays for a bit?
They must have been. That stadium seems pretty neat, though.
It was okay. You know what it would be like? Having the Shaw Conference Center with a ballpark attached to it.
Oh, no way.
It was like a mall complex. It was okay. But the new one that they built out in Summerlin looks awesome.
It was Blue Jays.
Yeah, they
It was
were
their
the
last
Jays
year with the
affiliate.
Blue Jays.
Yeah, who else was on that? There was another like really good
I don't have the team.
prospect on that team. Anyway, it was neat to go to, but it was like an 80s, like one of those cookie cutter. You know what it reminded me of? Like the AgriCom. It had the same like yellow and very sterile kind of before they made it into the Expo Center.
All right, because they're with Buffalo right now. Dunedin's lower.
When the Ice played there the first year in Edmonton, the Edmonton Ice, they played at the AgriCom.
Yeah, it reminded me of like something built by the same people that did the AgriCom.
Yeah.
It was all right. Like it was cool, and it was attached to like a conference complex and something else or a mall.
That was a cool logo, though. The 51.
It was
like in the area 51, like smart business way to buy into it, lean into that.
Yeah. And Justin Medlock, the CFL kicker, was sitting right behind us for whatever reason. Funny. Yeah, I ended up talking. I'm like, "Are you Justin Medlock?" He's like, "Yeah, man." And I'm like, "I'm from Edmonton." He's like, "No way." I'm like, "Where are you kicking next year?" He's like, "I don't know. I think he went to the NFL, or had he come back from the NFL at that point? I can't remember."
That's hilarious.
He was nice. We were shooting the breeze with him.
Edmonton Lines for the game out in Winnipeg tonight.
Am I getting free Popeyes from Dusty?
So what is the bet again?
So if Kasperi Kapanen is not on Draisaitl's line by next Wednesday, he owes all of us
And that's
Popeyes.
to start a game.
That's right.
It doesn't have to be throughout the game.
Dusty thinks
start it.
Kapanen should be on Draisaitl.
We'll stay on that
he's
line
thinking that
all
he's
week.
projecting.
Yeah.
Well, Dusty's 1 for 1.
Wow. Okay.
McDavid in between Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Kapanen. So he is right
why
there.
would you change?
Yeah, exactly. He had that
For
line
one
was very
game,
good.
but there's
That's what
4
I mean.
games here. So
I know,
can it
but
last
this is the
4
easiest
games?
game to win the bet on.
Yeah, it would have
Yeah,
been funny if
well-
it wasn't, though. Roslick, Howard, and Savoy. Lazar with Janmark Frederick. Looks like he's being back in as Mangiapane was an extra. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Stasny, Stillman, Emberson, Regula is an extra. Picker getting the start. Ingram is the backup.
Listen, I don't watch nearly as much as I used to in what you guys do, but did it not seem like McDavid was on a different, just a different, not his play, but just his preparation, his readiness, his mindset. I was watching that game the other night and I'm like, is this a playoff game? This guy, I thought he was going, I don't know what it was. It just seemed like it was a more serious, and I know it was Nashville.
Yeah.
But then
Nashville had won 7 of their last 10.
right. Historically, they haven't been that great
They've
this year.
dominated.
So
14-1-1.
They started coming back in that game a little bit. But I just thought, even the first 2 goals with McDavid, I'm like, holy man, this guy, it just seemed like his, I don't know, more motivated. I don't know how that's possible. And then I really liked how him and Nugent Hopkins interacted when he got the puck for him, right? It's like I just see such a human side of Connor McDavid now that we didn't see when he first came into the league, because he was, basically turned into a robot since he was younger, and it happens all the time. But we're starting to see personality, and I just thought, watching that game the other night, I'm like, something seems different with him. He seems more driven. I don't know if that's possible, but it seemed like he was on a different level the other night.
Yeah. He's been like that for a while. What's he, 200-point pace or whatever right now, the way he's playing?
Yeah. And like I said, I
amazing.
didn't watch as much. I knew he was on an extraordinary run there for a little while, but I hadn't watched it. And I don't know, man. I was like watching that game the other night. I thought, if this is the McDavid that we see in the second half, and then what happens after the Olympics? What happens when he gets to go play with McKinnon and Crosby for a full tournament, not just the 4 Nations, the Olympics? Does he become what Mario Lemieux became after 87? I mean, that's, for a lot of people, they might not know what I'm talking about, but Canada Cup 87, Lemieux scores the winning goal. We'll tell you, he became a different player after he spent time with Wayne Gretzky and was around all those great players. McDavid, we already know, is the best player in the game right now. But when he gets to go and sit beside 2 of the most successful players, and what Crosby is doing right now, what kind of a player does McDavid become after that? I mean, even if he gets 150 points, that's incredible. 150 points in this day and age in the NHL, he's done it before, right? I think he's got 150 or close to 150. I'm pretty sure.
Remember when he got more than 100? Him and Kucherov got more than 120.
Yeah,
that was a big deal.
I thought McDavid has
153 in 22-23.
Okay,
so if he does that again,
goals, 89 assists.
This is ridiculous.
Has he missed any games this year?
I don't know.
So he's on pace for 143.
Nobody's ever scoring 92 goals again. Sorry,
I'm with you. I don't think anybody does.
Could somebody get 200 points again?
Him.
Gretzky's the only guy, right? Or did Lemieux get?
Lemieux had 199.
199.
Yeah, I think Gretzky's the only player ever.
So he's the only guy to ever get 200.
Yeah.
Do we see a 200-point season from McDavid? He's 28 years old.
Yeah.
He's in his prime.
It has to be happening in the next 4 years.
What's he on pace for right now?
140.
Yeah, he's not even on one, because
So he has to up it a little bit to get to 150.
he's got to have a start to finish season to get to 200. Like anybody that does. Nobody can have a slump.
Yeah.
You're on a 2.4 points per game pace to get 200 points.
That's so
And
crazy.
he's at 2.44 right now. I think, in this,
Yeah.
In this stretch.
In this stretch.
yeah. So
But it just goes to show you how, the game was different. Goalies were half the size. Players were half the size, right? It's not just less goalie room out there. It's less everywhere room. I mean,
the guys skate so well now.
the guys skate so well, so it's different. 200 points, I would love to see it, but I'll settle for 150 again. If a guy gets 150, it's one of the best seasons we've seen in decades.
I'll settle for those ridiculous plays he makes that end with goals because those are crazy.
150 points
Yeah.
overall for the course next season, along with an Olympic gold. He might be the leader for the North Star Award at the end of next year.
Was it the Vegas that he made the play the other day, or who did he make the play against the other day where he took it across, deked through everybody, took it across, and then back? Or maybe it was
That
Columbus.
was
It was just ridiculous. It was.
no, that was the loss to Philly, was it not?
It was. I think it was.
Yeah.
Might have been. It just the vision that he has is, and it just like we keep saying, how much better can he get? But he just keeps getting better.
Just quick CFL news. Argos announced their full coaching staff. Demetrius Maxey is back with the Argos, assistant head coach and defensive line coach. We knew he wasn't going to be back with the Elks. Interesting, though, of their coaching staff, running backs coach Kadeem Carey. So it looks like Kadeem Carey will be retiring.
Yeah.
He spent time with the Riders last year, but didn't really play much with them. 2 years ago, had a great season, but he's now the running back coach. So it looks like he is done in his playing career. Go ahead.
Do you want to do over under?
Yeah, I'll get to it. But
Yeah, I was just gonna say, did you see the PA
the report cards?
report card that they did? Yeah.
Yeah, apparently visitors don't like the hotel that the city that the visiting team goes to.
I asked Hernan.
Apparently, the biggest complaint that they got from across the board was the Edmonton hotel that the other teams come and stay at.
The JW Marriott.
They don't stay there.
They stay at the Chateau Lacombe, apparently.
Oh, some WHL teams stay at the JW Marriott. That's interesting. I think Portland stays there.
Yeah.
Might be a few other teams.
Yeah. I asked Hernan how that came to be, and he told the story, and I was like, that's ridiculous.
About the Chateau?
About how it got changed from the usual CFL hotel, which is a nice hotel. Or it is.
Wow.
I don't know why it got changed.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about CFL. I thought you were talking about NHL. I'm like,
No,
NHL teams don't stay at the
CFL
JW
does
Marriott?
not. report card.
report card.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
No, all those NHL teams. I think there's a couple that still don't because they have deals. Or
well,
something.
Dallas was-
Sorry, I thought you were
The
talking
owner
about
of the
CFL.
Stars owns like Sandman, Sutton Place, Moxie's, Chop,
We stay
all
at
that.
Sandman quite a bit.
And the Stars did stay there because they were mandated to, but that has since changed. So I think pretty much every team stays at JW.
CFL teams stay at, okay.
Yeah, the CFL teams usually stay at Weston.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually do stay at the West End.
Not anime not in the last few years.
Ask Hernan,
it was
he's
the
here.
Chateau
He'll tell you
Lacombe.
how that.
We used to
that changed.
always go to the West End for our pre-game interviews and stuff like that. It was awesome.
Play Alberta, download the app, visit them, playalberta.ca. We got the national championship semifinals tonight. Well, not the national championship, the NCAA playoff semifinals tonight. My U taking on Ole Miss. Lines moved. Hurricanes, I think, were 3.5-point favorites at one point. Maybe they weren't. It's minus 2.5
Lane
for the
Kiffin
Hurricanes.
less, Ole Miss.
Who took 2 more coaches away from Ole Miss. So they still have their OC, and they have, I forgot what, I think tight end coach went back. So they're out a few more players, but it's at the Fiesta Bowl. Over under 52.5 points. I actually think this might go under.
Really?
Miami's got a good defense. And the 2 games they've played would have come under this total, while Ole Miss can score points.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd take the under on this one.
Over.
You think
Bring
the
on the
high-scoring
offense.
game?
I'll take the over.
Bring on the offense. Let's go. Fire it up.
I don't know. Mesidor, the Canadian, Bain on the other defensive lineman. Need them to dominate the line for the Hurricanes, and I can't wait for that game. Dino, what do you got coming up at For Vengeance Media?
We have next weekend, we have the BCHL All-Star Weekend. It's out in Spruce Grove at Heavy Metal Place. And coinciding at the same time, we also have the Jackson Joseph Memorial Tournament.
Nice.
So Jackson, unfortunately, lost his life among many others in the Humboldt Broncos bus crash tragedy of many years ago. So alongside the BCHL All-Star Game prospect event that they're having, we'll have the 18U Jackson Joseph Memorial. Chris and Andrea Joseph and their family will be on hand for a ceremonial puck drop. And that's January 16th to the 18th. So if you haven't been to Silent Ice Center, you can come check that out. But you can see the other arena that we had a hand in putting together, Heavy Metal Place, where the Saints play. And you can see the BCHL All-Star event. And obviously, with this being a memorial tournament, we'll tell some stories about Jackson. We did a feature with Chris, actually, about Jackson who was named after a Days of Our Lives character for everybody to know. And Ovechkin was his favorite player. So there'll be lots of Jackson Joseph memorial stuff where we've got his favorite songs lined up for the playlists and stuff like that. So as tough of a obviously a moment and that lives on forever for those people. Chris, when I talked to him, he said, I just want kids to come and play hockey. And Jackson would be like, hey, kids are saying my name and they're going to play hockey and they're going to have fun. He would be really happy with having a tournament like that. So a chance for some stories to be told, for us to remember the humble Broncos and honor the past and look ahead to the future, because a lot of scouts will be in attendance for the All-Star event and the JPHL, and we'll have all those games on Silent Ice TV.
I'm not surprised that Chris was heavily influenced by 90s, 80s sitcoms, knowing Joe the way, you know, you get to know him and you're like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Chris Joseph's one of the best. So
yeah,
awesome.
He is such a great dude. If I had a kid that I wanted him to be coached by somebody, I think Joey would be one of the guys that would be doing it. And it's great. They have, we went to their house and sat down. They have an autographed Tom Cochran guitar from when Tom played. Paul Coffey actually bought it at auction and gave it to the Joseph family. Wow. And they have a Golden Knights jersey, number 13, signed by all the players. Gerard Gallant was the head coach in Vegas at the time, and they played together in Tampa. Mm-hmm. They didn't have a 13, and so they got all the players to sign it. So the hockey world really did come together. Yep. I remember the sticks out that people were doing, and the many events that we've had since then. So it'll be a chance for us to honor Jackson and the Broncos legacy. Jackson actually played in Surrey. He was the only humble Bronco to play in the BCHL. So there's a neat connection there. So that'll be the 16th to the 18th. And then come March, we'll have the playoffs at Silent Ice Center. And like we said, if you haven't been out to check it out, come out to Summit, have a bite to eat, and watch some good hockey down in Nisku by the Amazon building. You can watch the Amazon parades every day as those trucks go out.
Great facility.
Quite funny. Yeah, it's I'm privileged to work there. So
Dino, great seeing you again. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks as always. Again
soon enough. We've got GCLD's Oil Stream pregame show later tonight as well, 5 o'clock. Tommy Benny will get you set for Oilers Jets. Thank you to everyone for tuning in to the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada's storage experts. Check them out, sentinel.ca. On behalf of Dino, Tommy, I'm Matt again. Thanks for tuning in to the Hangout here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Lock Shop with Dusty and us coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Look at this. Let's go.
There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with here. Joining us today,